Welcome to Neosho Wildcat Football live on KNEO.org. This is a presentation of the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Neosho Wildcats. This is your home for every sack, interception, and touchdown. Now, let's go live to the game site for all the action.
And good evening, Wildcat fans. Welcome to Carthage, Missouri. Just about, what, Jim, 26 miles down the road?
It's not far, and a beautiful night for football. Wind coming out of the east-northeast. It's going to be a little cool. It could affect some kicking game later on tonight, but crowds coming in. So, John, and it's hard to believe, this is the last regular season game of the 2024 season.
Boy, it really is, and I remember when it first started how much faith we had in our Wildcats, and none of that has waned, by the way. We still think that there's some great opportunities out there. John Ball, Jim Jackson, and Sam Fryer with you, and we are at the Carthage football field, and we'll be ready to get going here about 7 o'clock. Hey, Jim, just like everything else, it's senior night tonight.
It is. It's either homecoming or senior night. This is the last regular season game for both these teams, but last home game for the Carthage Tigers, and it looks like they're coming into this game with a 7-1 record, and it looks like they will possibly be the number one seed in the district. Green Valley's playing tonight. They should be they playing an opponent with a 1-7 record. They should win that game, and this is a very important game for the Cats. It's almost a must-win, but we should get a good seed next week, win or lose tonight, John. And we're thinking positive, and we haven't had a home ball game. Well, it's been a couple of years for
it's been
in district.
4, at least.
We played Willard, and they came to our house and defeated us. But to end the season a couple of years ago. But we're thinking positive, and it could be one of the Kansas City teams. Last year, you and I and Luke went to Raytown South for that ball game, the first game of districts, and this year, hopefully, it's either Belton or Ruskin coming to our house next week.
Absolutely, but we got to get by this ball game first. The Cats actually have a chance, if they win this ball game tonight, to possibly be the number one seed, and that would really mess things up with Carthage, but we'll be very happy to be the number 2 seed and come back in and let the folks enjoy a district playoff, Class 5, District 7.
No matter what happens tonight, it's going to be a good ball game. It always is. And Carthage and Neosho, no matter their records, have always fought hard and had some close games over the years with the Carthage Tigers.
Well, I am hearing rumors that we're going to see the return of Cade Spiva tonight. He's out there. He's got a brace on his leg, and he's been throwing the ball just exactly the way that he has been able to throw the ball. It's a matter of, whether he'll be able to run or what else he'll be able to do or how much playing time he'll actually get. Right. Certainly the odds are a little bit different because I said we don't want to get past this ball game, but we don't need anybody hurt before we have a district playoff either.
That's for sure. You can probably see on the screen right now, Cade, number 7, standing at the 40-yard line. His arm is, when he's in, they're clicking. Offense is clicking. The run game is going. The passing game is there, and they've done a great job this year with Cade under center at quarterback for the Cats.
Well, this is the pregame show, and it's being brought to you by ProLube Tire and Auto Maintenance Center. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. We'll be back. We will have the coaches show, and we'll talk to Coach Towdy. Then we will have the keys to the Cats. We'll have the starting lineups, and we'll talk about these two teams a little bit more. So that and much, much more. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. We'll be right back.
The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce invites you to download the new Experience Neosho app, available for free on the Apple and Google Play Store. Your guide to eat, shop, play, and stay in Neosho, and your direct link to KNEO Wildcat Sports. Download the app, register to win weekly prizes, and listen to your favorite Wildcat sports. Good luck, Wildcats. We can't wait to hear you ring that bell.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the 4-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
The Neosho R5 School District is committed to shaping the future one student at a time. From academics to athletics, we empower our students to reach their full potential, installing values of hard work, teamwork, and integrity. We would like to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast today and cheering on our Wildcats. Our dedicated teachers, staff, and coaches work hand in hand to provide a well-rounded education that prepares students for success. Together, we're building a brighter tomorrow for our community. The Neosho R5 School District, where excellence thrives.
Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride at Missouri Southern State University.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
As the year comes to a close, it's time for one of the area's most exciting traditions, the Neosho Holiday Classic, brought to you by Brentco Enterprises Incorporated. Join us this December 26th, 27th, and 28th for 3 days of nonstop basketball action. Boys will battle it out at Neosho High School, while the girls will heat up the court at Neosho Junior High. Catch all the games you want for just $10 per day, or grab a 3-day pass for $25. Kids 10 and under are free. Stream select games live at kneo.org.
Family Market, located at 201 North Neosho Boulevard, is your friendly hometown grocery store with delicious deli and the best selection of fresh meats and beautiful produce. Family Market can also take care of all your catering needs. Whether your upcoming event is big or small, Family Market can handle it all. Call 451-0057. That's 451-0057. Check out the Family Market Facebook page for weekly specials. Go Wildcats from Family Market of Neosho.
There are many of you, many all over the world, that are lost souls.
Billy Graham.
You're alive physically, but your soul, your spirit is separated from God. And as a result, it brings about all kinds of inner problems, inner tensions and frustrations, loneliness, emptiness, guilt, all these things as a result of that. We want something else. And we don't know what it is.
What you want is God.
You were made for God, and without God, you don't find the peace and the joy and the happiness and the pleasure that you thought you'd find. It's not found anywhere except in a relationship with God, because you were made for God.
You can have a relationship with God today. Find out more at our website, findpeacewithgod.net. Findpeacewithgod.net from the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
It's time for the Brandon Towdy Coaches Show. The Coaches Show is sponsored by Numac Electric. Now, here's Coach Brandon Towdy.
Welcome to this week's edition of the Coaches Show. I'm John Ball, and we've got head coach Brandon Towdy. Coach, things didn't work out exactly the way that we wanted them to the other night, but as a coach and as a group of kids, moving forward is so vitally important, and this group is to the place they've developed, and they really don't want to give up like this, do they?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a really special group of kids, and I've said that all year. You know, all the kids on our roster have been through so much together, and obviously last Friday was not the outcome we wanted, and I think all of us wishes we could have some plays or some calls or some things back, but the work we've done as a group, it just outweighs anything that one night could do to try and tear this team apart. And so this team, we got up the next day and we came in on Sunday as a team, and we kind of went back to our roots and the things that have gotten us here and got back to the basics. And so there's a good energy with the kids, and we're excited to move forward.
Yeah, let's go back to those roots for just a minute or so. And I know that we've got a sophomore quarterback now. It's a little bit different than what we had before. But basically, the things that brought you to the dance, those first 5 ball games that we went through without a hitch, those are the things that we're continuing to work on, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's certain things that we adjust every week, but the things that got us here were just our attitude and our work ethic more than anything. Obviously, there's the scheme and stuff like that, but these kids have worked extremely hard since January, getting up in the mornings and putting in time on the weekends. And over the course of the summer, we challenge them a lot, both mentally and physically. So all these kids have been through the same stuff. And, a couple of them maybe don't have as much experience on a Friday night that have kind of been thrown to the fire, but that doesn't change the fact that they all believe in each other and that they've all been through it together. And when you go through that kind of stuff together, they're just willing to outwork the other team and be more physical and to do it for each other.
Well, Blaine Patterson, the sophomore quarterback that was calling the shots last week, was 6 of 17, but the passing game got going. Are we going to see some more of that tonight?
Yeah, I thought Blaine did a good job. Some of the stuff that Republic does makes it really difficult on a quarterback, especially a young quarterback. They play a lot of cover zero and bring a lot of different pressures that'll get after the quarterback a little bit. And so he did a great job of kind of weathering the storm at times of their pressures and extending plays. And, he had to fit some balls into tight windows, and he did that. And hats off to their coach. He knew we had a young quarterback, so they kind of dialed up some stuff to get after us. But I thought Blaine did a really good job of not only running the offense, but keeping his cool, when he was under pressure and things like that. And so he's continuing to grow as a football player, and we're excited about his development.
I thought we saw some really great things from our senior leadership, especially those guys in the receiving room. They did a great job of even coming back to the ball occasionally when they needed to, just in order to let Blaine know, hey, we're here for you, and we're all a team, and we've got your back.
They really did, and that's what we need. When you have a young quarterback in there, is you need the seniors to kind of step up and pick up a little bit of the slack that maybe they haven't had to before when we had a senior quarterback, and they've done that, and they've done a great job of just letting him know that they believe in him and that it doesn't really matter who's behind the center, that as a team we're going to be successful. And so those seniors have done a great job of just being leaders and continuing to instill that no doubt mentality into the team as we move forward.
Well, if I'm a young quarterback and I'm back there without a whole lot of experience, I really do want a Denver Welch right there next to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Having Denver there helps, just being able to not only take a little bit of the pressure off him because he's such a good runner and just so good in the passing game, they have to respect him so much, but also just from experience standpoint of having that guy that you can talk to back there and he can help you with protections and things like that. So his experience and his leadership have been huge for us bringing along these young quarterbacks, and I think Blaine would tell you that, there's nobody he'd rather have next to him.
And the offensive line, you can't say enough about them, but the senior, Tace Harden, he's been hiking the ball to a lot of different people, and to come up and try to develop a real one-on-one relationship with Blaine, that seemed to work out pretty well too, didn't it?
It did, and he's just another great leader that's put in a ton of work and has done a great job of bringing Blaine along and bringing, Chase along when he was in too, and so he's just done a good job of kind of being the cornerstone of that offensive line, and they've understood that, they've got a quarterback back there, and so they're going to have to do a little bit more to help him out as well, and I think everybody's kind of accepted that challenge, and they're excited about it moving forward.
Well, obviously, leaving Friday night, nobody was happy, but I almost felt like that there was a little bit more cohesiveness in, hey, guys, if we lose, we all lose. No matter what happens to one of us, it happens to all of us, and we're not going to let that happen.
Yeah, when you go through a game like that where, it just seems like nothing's going our way and we can't do anything right, and just kind of like we said on Friday night, all the mistakes, the little things that have happened here and there throughout the year just kind of all came piling in at once. And so sometimes games like that happen, and credit to Republic because they're a great football team and they exploited a lot of those things. But when things like that happen, you've got two choices. We can either crumble and start to point fingers, or we band together stronger and respond and, use it as a moment to grow and to learn and to change some of those maybe bad habits or things that got exploited. And our team hasn't wavered a bit. The kids pulled each other together after the game, and we're building each other up and just letting it be known that, hey, we're all in this together and we're going to get through it.
We're in Carthage tonight, and we found out last week that Carthage is very vulnerable. They beat Webb by 1 point. We can do the same thing, and this team's cohesiveness can be the thing that wins it for us.
Absolutely. I mean, Carthage they're a really good football team. They're big up front on both sides of the ball, and they've got experience at the skill positions, and so they're tough. And they've been able to get to 7-1 because of how good they are and how well coached they are. But at the end of the day, they've played a lot of teams really close and squeaked out some wins, and so it's not like they're unbeatable. They're definitely just a high school football team, just like us. And our kids are excited about the opportunity. We always enjoy getting to play Carthage, just kind of one of those local rivalries where the kids know each other, the coaches know each other, and things like that. So it's always fun for us when we get to play them, and this is a big one for us as seeding for the districts is kind of on the line, and looks like whoever wins this game will get the 1 seed, so there's a lot riding on it, and it should just be a fun October football game.
Well, your philosophy ever since I've known you has been to improve every day. So I know you're not looking past the Carthage game. But for just a minute, let's talk about the next season coming up. I mean, this is a season that's going to be won and out. And are things going to be a little bit different than they were in the regular season for you?
Our approach won't change necessarily. I think maybe we'll enjoy the moments a little bit more. It's just a special time of year, but our focus is always on continuing to get better and just improving each day. And we don't spend a ton of time talking about the outcome and the things we can't control, because at the end of the day, you can't control that stuff. But we just focus on our own process and getting better. And so that won't change in playoff time. We'll talk a little bit more about, the different opponents and what it means to continue being able to play together, and just kind of use the motivation of we don't want this to end, because it has been a special time with each other, and we love these kids and these kids love each other, and so we don't want it to end, and maybe that'll be a little extra motivation each week for us.
Well, we've talked all year long about this is the first group that's been with you for 4 solid years, and how much you've been able to instill in them, and them trust you and you trust them as well. But you got to feel really good about some of the sophomores that are coming up and playing for us. Neosho's future is most definitely bright, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, you could look all the way down to our third grade teams, all the way through youth, and then the junior high, and then these young kids at the high school. We've got a lot of talent there and just great work ethic, and we got a lot of people that are pulling in the same direction from the different adults in their lives in this community, and so we've got something special going, and I think this senior group will look back and kind of remember that they're the ones that got this thing started. They're the first group to be a part of the program for 4 years, so it's always going to be a special group in my heart and in the program, but there's a bright future ahead of us for sure.
All right, Coach, I know we're at Carthage right now. Let's get this over with so we can go ring the bell, okay?
Absolutely. Go Cats.
You've been listening to the Brandon Towdy Coaches Show. The Coaches Show is sponsored by New Mac Electric. We'll be back with more Wildcat football after this on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Loneliness. Jesus understands it.
The Bible says he's despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief.
Billy Graham.
Even though great crowds surrounded him, at times he was alone. Even at the end, the scripture says, all the disciples forsook him and fled. He experienced ultimate loneliness as he died for you and died for me.
But his death meant you will never have to be lonely again. You see, his death paid the penalty for your sins, and when you ask him to forgive your sins, you can begin a relationship with God, and God will never leave you lonely.
He offers you a new life. He offers you peace and joy and friendship, never to be lonely again.
Learn more about beginning a relationship with Jesus at findpeacewithgod.net. That's findpeacewithgod.net. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
And good evening once again. Welcome back to Friday Night Football on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network. The 7-1 Carthage Tigers hosting our 5-3 Neosho Wildcats. Time now for Keys for the Cats. Keys for the Cats sponsored by your State Farm agent Eric Norris in Neosho, located at 437 West Kohler. Eric and his team offer a wide variety of insurance services for individuals and businesses. You can learn more online by contacting ericnorrisinsurance.com or by phone. That number in Neosho at 451-6666. And now with Keys for the Cats, here's John.
Well, Jim, we start out with the letter C. It stands for come out of it. Great running back Emmitt Smith holds all kinds of records. He holds a record for most yards gained at 18,355. That is 10.4 miles. He has a 24-hour rule. He says give yourself a 24-hour window to either celebrate or grieve. Once that's over with, it's back to business as usual. The Cats took one on the chin hard last week, but it's over with and it's time to get back to business against Carthage tonight, who, by the way, beat Webb City only by 1. They're very vulnerable. A stands for accept who we are. Hey, we're the number 2 seed in the district. Accept that. Accept the fact that we're the winningest team since 2019. Accept that we've made great strides in this game called football and doing the things that brought us to the dance. T, take it a play at a time. Take it a quarter at a time. Take it a half at a time. We get here and we're breaking this game down into the number of plays, one play at a time. Let's focus on that here and now, and let's win one play at a time. S stands for seams. Let's create seams in the running game and the passing game. If we block and run the way that we know that we can plug the seams against Carthage on the defensive side as they try to open things up, and we can go home and ring the victory bell. And then come back and celebrate again, like Emmitt Smith said earlier, with a 24-hour rule. And if, on top of doing that, Jim, we've got to score.
And that's how you win ball games, John. Thank you so much. Keys for the Cats tonight brought to you, as always, by your State Farm agent Eric Norris in Neosho. Eric and his staff are available Monday through Friday. You can contact them at 451-6666. John, a very close ball game. I predict a close ball game tonight. I think the Cats are up for this game. You get Kate Spiva back in the game. That's going to change the outlook. Carthage, we know, is coming in with a record of 7-1. They have a very stingy defense, giving up about 15 points per game. They score 34, but the Cats also score right up there in the 30s. They average 31 points a game, giving up 24. So anything can happen on this beautiful Friday night in Carthage, Missouri.
Yeah, it most definitely can. Carthage has been beat once, and they got beat by Nixa, who could beat anybody in the state. I feel confident this time. Coach John Guide is in his 20th year, his 18th year coaching in Missouri, and 2 years over in Kansas. He has led the Tigers in the last 10 years specifically with a record of 98-25. And they've won the district championship 7 different times and a state title in 2019. So it ought to be good. Carthage obviously knows how to win. They have the desire to, and they want to make a statement tonight just like us. This is the pregame show. It's being brought to you by ProLube Tire and Auto Maintenance Center. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout, and we'll be back with the starters, and we'll be ready for the national anthem, and we'll get this ball game underway. You're watching the Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationships.
It's a real billion-dollar community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
Sam Gorham and Aaron Mitchell are your specialty risk insurance agents for Neosho and the surrounding area. They've been involved in Neosho sports since their own high school days and know the importance of athletic competition and how it teaches students life lessons every day. For all your home, auto, life, farm, ranch, and crop insurance needs, call Sam Gorham today at 417-850-5116 or Aaron Mitchell at 417-483-8337. You can also learn more online at specialtyriskinsuranceagency.com. Go Wildcats!
Hi, I'm Pastor Mike of Calvary of Neosho, and I want to take a minute to share grace with you today. And what is grace? Grace is when someone gives you something that you don't deserve. I haven't done anything to deserve God's forgiveness, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve God's love, but He gives it by His grace. I haven't done anything to deserve a bright future, but God has made a way for me to have one by His grace. Titus 2 says the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. Have you accepted that gift of grace? For KNEO Radio, I'm Mike Leake.
Do you need a move of God in your life? Seneca Assembly of God is hosting revival services with Reverend Larry Willoughby from October 27th through the 30th. Come and experience God's presence on Sunday, October 27th at 10 a.m., October 28th and 29th at 7 p.m., and Wednesday, October 30th at 6:30 p.m. Join us at 2310 Cherokee Avenue in Seneca, where God is still performing miracles, healing hearts, and turning lives around through the power of the gospel. Don't miss your chance to be part of something life-changing at the 2024 Seneca Assembly of God Revival.
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho serves the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer business banking services including checking and savings accounts, business loans, and electronic banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, a proud sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, equal housing lender, member FDIC, where their slogan is Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
Welcome back to Carthage, Missouri. We've got about 18 minutes and 26 seconds left before we start. The band is coming out here. So, Jim, what do you say we try to get some starters going? And you start with the Carthage Tigers.
Let's do that. The offensive starters tonight, number 6 is Landon Collins, a senior running back. Number 8 is Langston Morgan, a wideout, also a senior. Number 10, the big guy that's causes a lot of problems here in the COC this year, their great quarterback, Brady Carlton. He's also a senior. Number 14, Cooper Lindley-Camp, running back as a junior. And number 36 is Jackson Henniger, also a senior, wearing number 36. Also, some of the linemen tonight, number 54, Taylor Stevens-Diggs. Number 55 is M.J. Martov. Number 65 is Brannon Reels. Number 70 is Blaine Lillycamp. Number 75 is Jack Brown. And number 81 is Carson Murray. And now with a look at the lineup for the visiting Neosho Wildcats, here's John.
With a record of 5-3, head coach Brandon Towdy, offensive coordinator is Dayton Whitehead, and defensive coordinator is Josh Saunas. We understand it's going to start off with number 7, Cade Spiva will be back in the mix for the Cats tonight. In the backfield with him will be number 4, Denver Welch. The receiving room will be number 1, Hudson Williams, number 2, Noah Soriano, number 25, Brock Pyle, the only junior so far. The rest of those are seniors. And then number 6, Boston Patterson, a senior. On the offensive line, it's going to be number 71, Nathan Rogers, a senior. A junior, number 75, Evanson Tomlinson. Number 66 is big Tice Harden. He's a senior as well. A junior, number 65, is Romano Fluentes. And the other lineman is also a senior, and that's Bryce Toller. He wears number 55. Defensively for the Cats, it looks like this. The defensive line on defensive end, a sophomore, it's Jackson Ertl. Then it's number 75, Evanson Tomlinson. Gabe Bastide is going to be in the middle of the line wearing number 52. Number 55, Bryce Warren, will be the defensive end over on the other side. Linebackers will be number 3, Trey Harden. Number 28 will be either Kobe McGehee or possibly Corbin York. Corbin got to play some limited time this last week, and we're glad to see him back, and he's recovering nicely from his injuries. Another linebacker is going to be senior number 13, Brody Crane. Safeties are going to be number 1, Hudson Williams, and number 10, Canton Smith. On the corners, it's going to be number 6, Noah Soriano, and number 2 is Noah Soriano, and number 6 is Boston Patterson. And that kind of rounds it out, Jim. Looks like that we're getting ready to have the national anthem. The Carthage Tigers marching band is out on the field right now, so we will get that going here in just a few minutes. We'll have the coin toss, and then this ball game will be ready to go.
Beautiful night in Carthage, Missouri for high school football. Wind coming in out of the east-northeast, and it's fairly strong. It's picked up throughout much of the afternoon. Temperatures, today's high was around 74, 75 degrees. Game time in the upper 60s. It will be dropping throughout the game, but just a perfect night for high school football. And like we said before, this is the last regular season game for both these teams. District action starts next week, and Carthage is in the driver's seat in that district with a record of 7-1. Our Cats coming in tonight 5-3. So the Cats would like to have a win, so they can stay up in that second place position possibly, and face one of the weaker schools coming out of Kansas City, and that would be either Belton or Ruskin, and those two teams play each other tonight. I think Grain Valley plays Truman. Truman coming in with a record of 1 win and 7 losses. So it's either have or have not. Webb City, John, I think I was talking to some of the coaches, first time in almost 30 years they've had a losing record, and that was they were 5-5 back in '98. This year they come into the season finale with a record of 3-5. We're going to stand right now and pause for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, John Ball, Jim Jackson, and Sam Fryer with you, and we've had the national anthem, and we'll be getting this ball game underway. Looks like that there's about 13 and a half minutes left on the clock, Jim, so why don't we take another time out, and then we will be back. You're watching the pregame show, which is being brought to you by ProLube Tire.
I am a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm here to talk about life, your life, your dreams, your work, your family, and how you can protect it all with a company that will talk to you with the honesty of a farmer and take care of you with the integrity of a neighbor. I'll make sure no detail is left uncovered so your family can breathe easy. Because just like you, I chose to build a life in Missouri too. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and I'm from Missouri for life.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Every team knows that the two-point play can be a winning move. State Farm agent Eric Norris and his team are here to help you go for two by combining your home and auto insurance. It's a great call and saves you time and money. So go for the win and score big savings by combining your home and auto. It's just another way to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Eric Norris at 417-451-6666 for more information. And go Wildcats!
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Joe Ringstaff, your Neosho Edward Jones financial advisor, understands this. That's why Joe Ringstaff is a proud sponsor of the Neosho Wildcats on KNEO. For all your investment needs, call 417-451-7789 or stop by the office at 2502 Luss Drive, Suite D in Neosho. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook/Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats!
And welcome back to Carthage, Missouri. We're about ready to get this ball game underway. Carthage is announcing its starters right now, and the Cats have yet to make an appearance over on their side. Jim, there's a pretty good group of Wildcat faithful over there on the other side, isn't there?
There certainly is. Not a long drive. It takes you 25 minutes to get to Carthage, to the stadium, from the city of Neosho, and why not get out and support the Cats tonight? And we want to thank everybody at home tonight. If you weren't able to make the trek up the interstate to be with us in person, but you are there at home on your computer watching us on the big screen, like a lot of folks have said they have done. It's so easy to do anymore. We certainly appreciate you being with us tonight on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
Well, we talked about senior quarterback Brady Carlton, but let me tell you, last year, as a junior, he threw for 1,019 yards and 12 touchdowns, but he also rushed for 1,092 yards with 15 touchdowns on top of that. So just between those two, he basically has been the money man for the Carthage Tigers.
But, you know, we have he has an opponent tonight that does similar tricks just as well, and we're talking about number 7, Cade Spiva. Cade has missed the last couple of ball games after being injured in that Willard contest back on October 4th. He was injured late in the first quarter, and he is healing, and he's bouncing back a little quicker than I think the coaches had expected. But John, you know, kind of depending the outcome of the game, I could see where he would have limited action tonight, because you want him healthy coming into the ball game next week, and hopefully that district ball game will be at Bob Anderson Stadium.
Yeah, you most definitely want him healthy. I think we're probably going to take a little bit of time for him to get his sea legs, if you will, back underneath him. I know when Tomlinson was out, it took a ball game, almost a ball game and a half, for him to get his sea legs back under him and get back to doing the things that he knows how to do best. And boy, has he done well since he's come back with us. So we're excited about that opportunity. The thing about Cade Spiva, much like Brody Carlton, is he is a huge double threat. When you get ready for the RPO, you don't know whether he's going to throw the ball or whether he's going to run it himself.
He runs the option so well. He fakes out the defenders. He will freeze the linebackers, and that's what it takes. And he'll either toss it back to a running back, or he has that strong arm. He's kind of like Patrick Mahomes. He will throw the ball, throw it far on the run. And so he is a double threat for the Neosho Cats when he is in top form. But tonight, the Cats are facing a very tough opponent, a very stingy defense, and we're talking about the Carthage Tigers. They average giving up 15 points a game. They gave up 13 points last week to a very fine Webb City team. Don't let that record fool you. They're always a good team, especially late in the year, and they play Joplin tonight. And so there's a lot of what-ifs within the district, John, and we'll be following that, and we'll get some updates and pass along some of those scores to you throughout the evening. If you want to look at the scores yourself, get online or your phone app, KNEO.org, and look under Final Drive on the scoreboard show. And Daniel and everybody back at the station does a tremendous job to keep us updated with scores around the COC and ball games around the 4-state region.
Well, here come the Cats, and they're coming through the pep group, I guess, for lack of a better word. We've been bringing a pep bus with us, and they're all lined up out there, and the Cats are coming out now, and led by senior quarterback Cade Spiva, and he's jogging up and down, probably trying to get that leg loosened up just a little bit. But Cats are coming in, and we will have the flip of the coin here just momentarily.
Well, Cade's wearing a brace on his left knee, and he may be limited on what he can do on his mobility tonight, but he is a tremendous asset for this Wildcat team. And the Cats coming in with a record of 5-3, had a very strong first half of the season. And, of course, they had to face Republic last week and Joplin and Webb City, now Carthage. And that just shows you how tough this COC is, especially in the southwest part of the state.
Well, as you pan over, you see a lot of Wildcats with their helmets off, kneeling, and I think asking for some divine help in this ball game tonight. And we certainly applaud that because we realize that we certainly do not want anybody to get hurt on either side. We certainly don't want to have a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct, but by the same token, we want to have a good, solid competition this evening.
And I know Coach Taddy worked with his young players during practice this week, and you talked to him as well during the coaches show, trying to avoid some of those mental mistakes. John, we saw early in the ball game, we gave first downs to Republic on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. They'd get called for offsides or encroachment. And you just can't have those type of mistakes when you play a tough, well-balanced team such as the Carthage Tigers.
No, that's absolutely true. And some of those mistakes, they were mistakes. And did we go ahead and give Republic the first down? But those were aggressive type mistakes. The defense felt the pressure to the point that they felt like they needed to do everything they could to see if they couldn't get the offense back on the field. It looks like we're just about ready, and we're going to have the captains come out. Looks like the captains are going to be number 4, and that is Welch. Number 3 is Harden. Number 1 is
Hudson Williams.
I'm trying to see over there that far. And the other senior, of course, along with Cade Spiva, is Boston Patterson.
And Neosho wearing their visiting light-colored white jerseys tonight. Carthage, the home team, wearing the dark uniforms with white lettering. 4 minutes away from the opening kickoff. You're in tune to the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network with Jim and John and Sam. And, if we get tired here, John, we'll let Sam just do the 3rd and 4th quarter. How's that sound?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea. What do you think, Sam?
Probably not.
Yeah, we'll get going here in a minute. And I'll tell you what, let's take another real quick timeout. Let's take a 1-minute timeout. By that time, they should be out there and have the coin flip underway. You're watching Neosho Wildcats on the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
Do you need a move of God in your life? Seneca Assembly of God is hosting revival services with Reverend Larry Willoughby from October 27th through the 30th. Come and experience God's presence on Sunday, October 27th at 10 a.m., October 28th and 29th at 7 p.m., and Wednesday, October 30th at 6:30 p.m. Join us at 2310 Cherokee Avenue in Seneca, where God is still performing miracles, healing hearts, and turning lives around through the power of the gospel. Don't miss your chance to be part of something life-changing at the 2024 Seneca Assembly of God Revival.
Well, the captains are out on the field, Jim, and we're getting ready to flip the coin. What a beautiful, beautiful evening for football. We appreciate you being with us. We love the chance to try to break up your evening. We want to thank all of our sponsors, too, by the way, for the things that they do in order to help us produce these football games and make things work.
Well, the wind's coming out of the east-northeast at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. It was breezy earlier today. It's letting up as the sun has gone down. And temperatures will be falling throughout the game time. Earlier when we got here, it was 73 degrees, and that temperature's down in the 60s. And by overnight, it should be in the upper 40s by the time the game ends, around 9 or 9:15. Well, Neosho is deferred. They won the toss. And let's see which goal that Carthage will defend the south goal, and Neosho will be defending the north goal at the start of the game. So the advantage for the Cats here in the first and third periods tonight, and that could make a difference in the ball game, especially for extra points. And we saw how important an extra point is last week. Carthage did anyway when they defeated the Webb City Cardinals 14-13. And, boy, that's a heartbreaker for Webb City, losing by just a missed extra point.
We're about ready to get this ball game underway. As you said, the Cats are defending this particular goal down here with a wind to our back. We're going to be kicking the ball off, which means that we will have it in the second half when we come back out, and that could prove to be very beneficial. Coach Towdy said this, one of the things about what we have got to do this week, we have got to execute better. Now think about that for just a minute. Execute better. The game plan we've got is good. It's a matter of putting all the numbers together, and tonight is the perfect night to be able to do that.
You know, by the end of the season, you should avoid all those little mistakes, mental mistakes, such as the offside calls, the unsportsmanlike conduct, roughing the passer, face mask, all of that. Let's forget about those things. A new ball game tonight, and we're just less than a minute away from the opening kickoff here in Carthage, Missouri tonight. You're in tune to the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network. A lot of good ball games around the area tonight, and probably none as more important and exciting as what we're about to witness this evening, John.
Yeah, I would agree with you 100%. What a great opportunity for the Cats. We feel reasonably comfortable that regardless, because we have such a high, going into this game with such a high seed, that we will be able to come back to Neosho and give the fans a little extra treat by having the first playoff game. Carthage is set up and looks like Fluentes is getting ready, and he's going to kick the ball off. So Carthage is down there ready to receive with the play-by-play. Here's Jim Jackson.
All right, thank you very much, John. And here comes the opening kick. If it's a good one, taken down around the 7-yard line. They're going to move it up the middle of the field. Kind of has an opening, trying to cut the corner, and brought down on about the 26-yard line. And that's where the Tigers will take over 1st and 10.
Well, that was number 9, Trent Yates, and the tackle was made by Brody Crane out there. He came all the way across on his side in order to make that tackle, but Carthage is going to have pretty good field position.
And Carthage led by senior number 10, Brady Carlton. In the backfield will be Landon Collins. Some of the wide receivers will be Langston Morgan, Jackson Henniger, and number 14, Cooper Lillicamp, one of the top running backs as well. 1st and 10 for the Tigers on the 26-yard line. And right off the bat, it's just an option pitch back to off the right side across the 40-45. A good 20-yard run right off right tackle. Number 6, Landon Collins, took that ball on the pitch out by Carlton.
He was tackled over there by Soriano, who came all the way over from his corner position up here close to us. The Cats and the Tigers will play pretty much a 4-down lineman defense. So we'll have 5 linebackers as well as them, and safeties moving back and forth.
20-yard run for Collins right off the bat from the 26 to the 46. 1st and 10 Tigers. One man in motion. Here comes, they do the end around. Has some room, and it's close to another 1st down across the 45-yard line of the Wildcats. And they'll call a timeout. And
that was Trent Yates again. He not only took the kickoff, but he took that jet sweep around this end too, and it looks like that they got the 1st down.
A 10-yard pick out for the Tigers. Second 1st down of the ball game. 11:16 to go, just underway. No score. Carthage Tigers, Neosho Wildcats. Class 5 action. 1st and 10. Tigers. Carlton, quarterback. One man in motion. He fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper off the right side. Good run of almost 10 yards, maybe just shy of another 1st down, a pickup of 9. John, that's 3 good runs in a row for the Tigers.
Yeah, it really is. And, I think they're coming out there showing us that they can run the ball, and hopefully it's going to open up the passing game for them, because their passing game is what really has brought them to the dance.
37-yard line is where they'll hike the ball. 2nd down and a long 2 for the Tigers. They've had 3 straight runs, yet to pass in the ball game. 10:30 to go in the 1st period, no score. And they'll hand off to Collins. He has the 1st down across the 30, down to about the 27-yard line. That's his 2nd carry of the evening.
Well, that went right off right tackle that time, and there was a pretty good lane there to open up. The Cats are going to have to step into those lanes like we talked about in the pregame show. We've got to step into those seams that are opening up and plug them.
And you're right, the Cats need a way to stop the bleeding here early. And the Tigers are having their way. 1st and 10, 28-yard line of the Cats. 4 plays so far, and they've gained every bit of that on the ground. Here's another run off left side. Has some room across the 25, the 20, down to the 18-yard line, and he's brought down and very close to another 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
Well, that was Yates, and that was a direct snap to him that time instead of going to quarterback Carlson.
They'll mark the ball on the 19-yard line. It's just about a foot short. It'll be 2nd down for the Tigers. Clock is running at 9:30 to go in this opening period. Still no score, but the Tigers are knocking on the door, trying to take it to the house here early. Carlton, the quarterback. He'll hand it off. First man through. Once again, Collins. He has the 1st down all the way down to about the 12-yard line.
Now, this is where the Cats need to make a statement right here. Carthage is obviously trying to show us that they can run the ball and they can run it right up through us. Let's do one of those goal line stances that our defense is so famous for right now.
We've had some good stances inside the 10-yard line this year. Proud of what the Cats have done. 1st and 10, Tigers, 13-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Carlton has one man in motion. And they had quarterback keeper off the right side, nothing up the middle. He moves out to the right. Gain of about 3, and a flag is thrown on the far side of the field.
Yeah, you almost think that's going to be a hold.
Well, they'll sort things out. The ball is inside the 10, down to the 9-yard line.
The umpire's preliminary, it was a hold, and it was against Carthage, so they'll go back 5 yards and start again. So it'll be 1st and 15 instead of 1st and 10.
Well, it's a 10-yard penalty on those holding calls, and they'll move it back to the 21. That does help.
It certainly is. Yes, it is.
Helps the Cats.
Yeah, it must have been a flagrant hold.
It amazes me, the refs and the umpires, they do such a great job. And they can spot those things, and there's so much to see and cover. It's a wonder. I know they take a lot of criticism, but hats off to them for the jobs they perform week in and week out here, even on the local level. They do a tremendous job. A couple of receivers down low, out wide. Carlton looking to throw, he pitches it back, and Collins has the run all the way down to the 15-yard line, and about 3 Cats. Harden was in on the tackle.
Yeah, Carthage is coming out showing not only that they can run the ball, but they're showing a lot of speed. They're doing these bubble jet sweeps over on the side in both directions and showing what kind of speed that they actually have. We were expecting to see Carlton to run the ball a lot more than what he is, but he's been able to hand off, and still they're coming right down to it. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and about 11.
7:40 to go in this opening period tonight. Ball on the 14-yard line. They need to get down to about the 3.5-4-yard line for a 1st and 10. And it's a handoff, sweep off the left side, brought down around the 10, maybe down to the 9.
That was Yates that time. And I think he rolled down there pretty close to the 9. Yeah,
Trent Yates.
That's where they're going to spot it.
3rd down. 3rd down and still long yardage. Cats need to put a stance right here. Tigers have yet to throw in this ball game. And Coach Guidey says, well, why should we when we have a good running attack? And that's what it's their bread and butter play. Hand off to Collins. He's swarmed. Oh, good tackle by the Cats.
Yeah,
Number 75.
Tomlinson made that tackle, threw him down for about a 2-yard loss, it looks like.
He is a big young man. It's like hitting a brick wall. Nice young man, nice family.
And it'd be 4th down.
4th down, and they're going to go for it. 4th and about 5 to go for a 1st down, and they...
this may be where we see them air the ball out a little bit.
They've had luck sweeping to the left and right, not much up the middle.
They've run their wide receivers. Yates is one of those wide receivers, and they've run him almost down to the far out of bounds line.
We're down to the 6:05 mark. That first pass of the play. A game, it's completed, but tackled quickly. And, John, it looks like they have enough for a 1st down.
And that was Ty Harden that made the tackle that time.
And they prevented the touchdown down to the 2-yard line. It's 1st and goal for the Tigers. But they'll have 4 chances to punch it across the goal line. First pass of the evening for the Tigers.
Yeah, and that was a route that was just inside the linebackers. I think they thought they were going to fool us, but Harden was right there and said nothing doing.
Ball on the 2-yard line, 1st and goal for the Carthage Tigers. One man in motion, off to the right side, hand off to Collins. He's in for the touchdown. 2-yard touchdown run by Collins. And that's coming in at the 5:36 mark of the first period. So the Carthage Tigers hit pay dirt first in this ball game tonight with our Wildcats. 6-0 with the extra point attempt coming, and they'll kick it from the 10-yard line.
That is number 12. That is Lucas Fuentes.
And the kick is up, and it is good. Our score with 5:36 to go in the first period, Carthage 7, Neosho nothing. You're in tune to the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
This is Pastor Barry Reel from the First Free Will Baptist Church of Neosho. Though our culture seems to be rejecting the idea of truth, we remain committed to obeying God's Word by speaking the truth in love. We would love to share God's truth and love with you. We're located at 960 Burr Crossing Road in Neosho, and we meet on Sunday mornings at 10:45 a.m. and then again on Sunday and Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. Find us on Facebook at First Free Will Baptist Neosho or call 918-413-5465.
7-0 in favor of the Carthage Tigers. Cats will receive the opening kickoff. That was a long drive. The ball actually, that drive started on the 26-yard line, 74-yard drive for the Tigers, and they only threw the ball once during that long drive, during that series.
Looks like back in the back to receive the ball is going to be Boston Patterson and Noah Soriano for the Cats.
And Boston has had several long opening kickoff returns for success this year. Last week had an 80-yarder. He had another one 65 yards a few weeks back, so he's done very well. Actually, throughout his entire career, even as a freshman, they used him as a run back. Here's the kick to the Cats. It's fairly short, going to be taken on about the 15-yard line, across the 25, brought down on the 27 by a host of Tigers, and that's where the Cats will take over 1st and 10. And John, looky there, number 7, Cade Spivak coming onto the field.
And number 1, the up back took that, and that was Hudson Williams, and he'll just stay right out on the field, and the Cats are going to spread the offense out just real quick.
And Cats are a different team when you have Cade Spivak under center. Everything seems to click, and we'll see tonight if that holds true.
Now we've got 4 wide receivers. Now we've got one in motion, and that was Brock.
And good run by Denver Welch off left tackle, and they're pushing him forward across the 35. A pickup. It's still going.
Yeah.
It's like a rugby match out there.
Well, I tell you what, Carthage has got some 350s. They've got a 325. They got a 310 lineman, and it's going to be difficult for our linemen in the trenches, but we need to stay and do just exactly what we did then.
2nd down and 1. A nice run by Denver Welch right off left tackle. I think he was pushed about 5 yards. See what Cade has up in store. He's going to throw. It's tipped away, knocked away. He was heading out, trying to find Hudson Williams over on the left side of the field. And Tigers just jumped up and said, like it was a fly on the wall, just swatted it back at him.
Remington Tatum was the one that jumped up and batted that ball back.
3rd down and less than a yard. Cats need to get a 1st down here. 4:50 to go in this opening period. Carthage on top 7-0.
We've got
1
3
man
trips, and now we're in motion ourselves.
And he falls across the 40. Welch just going to drive through that lane. It wasn't much there, but enough for a 1st down. That will move the chains for the Cats.
Well, we've taken a page out of the Carthage playbook. Hudson Williams was in motion on that play, and they caused the defense to have to stop for just a minute and opened the lane up for Welch.
And Denver going off the field, favoring his right leg. I don't know if he got stepped on or somebody fell on him.
Number 2, Cade Lawson, is in the backfield with Spiva now.
He's a good, strong runner, only a sophomore, and they'll hand off. No, he's going to throw. He's got a man open, and that's Hudson Williams, 1st down across midfield, and a good 13, 14-yard pickup. He'll be brought down on about the 47. Totally different team, and Cade just looks so natural in the backfield. A nice throw right up the middle to Hudson Williams.
Well, I think we're going to have to continue to do just exactly those kind of things. That was a great pass and great reception that time by both of the seniors. Looks like Welch is back in there now, but we'll really see when Cade has to run the ball what happens.
And they're going to hand off right up the middle. He's got some room up to about the 41-yard line, pick up of good 5 yards. And, John, you know they're going to, I'm sure the coach told his offensive line, you better protect Cade no matter what on this game. Give him time to throw, and that will definitely help the offense.
I hope the viewers out there can see how much motion there is for the Cats in the backfield. It's just pretty amazing.
And the throw off to the left side has some room. First down, off down the sidelines, down to across the 25. That was Denver Welch on the far side of the field.
That was to Hudson Williams, and that was that has been our go-to play all year long, whether it goes to Hudson or whether it goes to Boston Patterson. And obviously we got the first down. For the Cats to come back and score right now and answer Carthage is going to tell you what the rest of this ball game is going to be like.
Ball spotted just across the 25-yard line. And they'll hand off to Welch this time. Left tackle, not much there. Gain of about a yard before he's pushed back. You know, looking at numbers, number 1, number 4, and all very close. Number 11 out there, they all look, they kind of blend in.
Well, number 21 for the Cats is Lincoln Howard, and he's been in the ball game quite a bit as a receiver over on this side. We've called his name a few times before. But
no gain on the play. 2nd and 10. One man in motion. That's Brock Pyle, and he throws deep. He's got wide open at the 10. Down across the 5. It's going to be a touchdown, Wildcats. Oh, no.
Yeah, they're going to say he jumped out.
Oh, he stepped out of bounds on about the 7-yard line. What a nice play by the Cats, all alone. That was Hudson Williams.
I tell you what, Brock Pyle is going to be one tired puppy when he gets through. He is in motion in almost every play, and it's just enough to make the Carthage defense stutter for just a minute before we have an opportunity to throw the ball or even to give it to Welch.
Nice play by the Cats, and he just stepped out, but he has the first down. The run up the middle. There's the touchdown. Touchdown Cats, 7-yard run. And the Cats answer back.
Well, I decided early this week that this was either going to be a very high-scoring ball game or it was going to be a blowout. There wasn't going to be any in-betweens. And if the Cats have anything to say about it, it's going to be a pretty high-scoring ball game. And that's the kind of ball game that we like.
And here comes the extra point attempt for the Cats. They're taking their time. Plenty of time on the play clock. Snap is down. The kick is up. And it is good. We have a whole new ball game. We're tied up 7 apiece, 2:39 to go in the first period. Carthage and Neosho. We will return after this on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do. And for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
Well, we're about ready to start the kickoff from the Cats. Back deep is going to be number 9, Trent Yates, and number 23, Jordan Burnett for Carthage. And it looks like Fluentes is going to be the kicker again.
Cats had a 73-yard series of plays to tie this ball game, and some nice, the timing is back for the Cats with Cade Spiva back at quarterback. The kick taken on the 5-yard line. Let's see if the Cats can.
To Yates.
And he has some room up the middle across the 40. He's across midfield, taken down on about the 49-yard line.
Well, the kicker, Fluentes, was the one that made the tackle that time, or he would have been gone.
And that was a 44-yard return on that kickoff. And it's something you don't want to give Carthage. Great field position to start their second drive of the evening. It's on the 49-yard line of Carthage.
Well, we've already seen that Mr. Yates has got some speed, but he really showed it to us that time.
Carlton at quarterback. Collins, the main running back for the Tigers. He's back to throw. It's a little swing pass. Collins has it down the 40, open man, and he's one man to beat, and he's taken down on the 34-yard line. A good pickup of 15, 16 yards for the Tigers.
Yeah, sophomore Kobe McGehee was the one that made the tackle that time. He has come in for the injured Corbin York and played that inside linebacker and has done a great job of taking that opportunity and making the best of it.
Well, Carlton has several good receivers that he can choose from and in and out. And, John, you're right. When they put them in motion, they have to be tired as much running as they do back and forth across the field. Little pitch out to Collins, across the 30, off right tackle down to about the 25. Very close to another Tiger first down.
Well, the Cats changed a little bit that time on defense. We actually had 6 linebackers up in there and one lone free safety.
And it'll be second down and just inches to go for the Tigers. They'll have a play to see what they can do. Clock is running at 1:30. Very fast first quarter in this ball game tonight. And it's good to have you folks with us on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network. Collins in the backfield with Carlton. 2 wide receivers, 1 in motion, coming across the back. And Collins will take it. Left tackle, he has enough for a first down.
Yeah, first down, but not much more than that.
Cats need a turnover down here to stop the Tigers. The ball spotted on about the 23-yard line.
Number 78, senior Matthew Scott made the tackle that time for the Cats.
Carlton, a good running. Runs the option just like Cade Spiva for the Cats. And here's the hander there. He's going to throw it off to the right. Oh, it's incomplete. And he could hear footsteps.
Yeah, he could. Boston Patterson was right there on top of him.
Boston plays a good receiving position and also one of the top corners in the COC. Second down and 10. Ball on the 23-yard line. Clock stopped at 41 seconds. New ball game. We're tied up at 7 apiece.
Langston Morgan back into the game for the Tigers.
Very fast first quarter tonight in Carthage. Last home game of the season for the Carthage Tigers. And a handoff. Here's Carlton. He runs left tackle, then back right up in the middle of the field and across the 15 down to about the 13. And let's see, there's no official word. They'll move the chains. No, it's third down and just inches. Ball on they'll move it back to the 14-yard line. Collins in the backfield, 2 receivers, 1 receiver on the left, 1 off to the right. Couple of tight ends into the ball game.
Keyshawn Roan over there for the Cats in the corner, and it looks like we've got him.
Oh, nice play by number 28 for the Cats to stop Carlton in the backfield.
Sophomore McGehee made that stop and moved the ball back.
And that's the end of the first period. Our score all tied up. Carthage, Neosho, 7 apiece. You're in tune to the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
Clark Funeral Homes with 2 locations, 312 South Wood Street in Neosho and Highway B at Highway 86 in Granby, is proud to be a part of these local communities. Established in 1890, they specialize in a variety of funeral service options, including traditional, cremation, and graveside services. They also offer monuments. Clark Funeral Homes, 417-451-2345 or online at clarkfuneralhomes.com, a sponsor of KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network.
We all have those days where we don't want to get up. But when we have true discipline and choose to rise up, we become the best version of ourselves. To start your journey today, visit risefitnesscenter.com.
Welcome back to Carthage, Missouri. We're ready to start the second quarter, and we're knotted at 7. Carthage took the opening kickoff and went down and scored. The Cats, on their opportunity to take a kickoff, answered back, and now Carthage has got the ball back, and that's where it stands. They're on about the 20-yard line, aren't they, Jim?
It's 18-yard line, 4th and 5, and they're going for it. One man in motion, running left. Here comes Carlton. He's in trouble. He's flushed out of the pocket. They almost had him at the 30, the long throw, and it's going to be intercepted by the Cats at the 5. They're going to run it back. That's Smith with the ball. He's still on his feet. Brought down around the 15-yard line. Good play by the Cats. And too bad they didn't get him back at the 30, John, because they would have taken over on downs.
Yeah, we really would have, but you know what? Putting that kind of pressure on him and for him to throw an errant pass like that, and Caden being wide awake and being able to jump after it, that gives the Cats some confidence.
Yeah, Carlton just throwing it up for grabs like a Hail Mary pass, and the Cats came down with it. Let's see what the Cats can do. They'll take over 1st and 10, and the ball spotted on it's about the 14-yard line. Cade Spive in the backfield. Brock Pyle in motion, running across the field. He's going to throw this time over. It's incomplete. And that was intended for Boston Patterson on the far side of the field.
And we're continuing to run not Boston Patterson, but Brock Pyle continues to keep running. And in just a minute or two, Carthage is going to pretend he's not there, and we're going to come around the end with a jet sweep.
Cats need to move the chains. 2nd down and 10. He's back to throw again. He's got a man in motion. Good play to Hudson Williams. Yeah. And we could see that coming. Kind of a slant off to the side and pick up of about 8 yards. Nice play by the Cats.
Yeah, once Hudson got one step on his defender, then it was all over, and Spivak could see him, and what a perfect pass.
Ty Harden back in, and offense tonight. He's played both ways a couple of weeks ago, John, and done very well. They can use him as a tight end. Has good size and good speed. 3rd down for the Cats, 3rd and 2. Handoff up the middle to Welch. He's hit hard and pushed back. I think he's just a little short.
And they think they've got the ball.
They think there was a fumble on the play.
Carthage picked it up.
And the Cats cough it up on the 24-yard line. The Cats had something going, and Welch was hit hard and pushed back, and the ball popped out. They'll spot it now on the 25-yard line inside Neosho territory.
We need Trey Hard to jump right back in there and put more pressure on Carlson. And if he does that, he may cough the ball up again.
11 minutes to go in this second period. We're tied up at 7 apiece. The Tigers with the turnover. Both teams have had a turnover tonight. Neither team has capitalized as of yet off those turnovers.
Levi England is in there playing in that other safety position now.
It's direct snap back to Collins. He's across the 20, down to about the 15-yard line, very close to a 1st down. Brody Crane on the stop for the Cats. Clock continues to run at 10:40 in the second period. Tigers on that turnover when the ball was coughed up at the 25-yard line.
Looks like it's going to be 2nd and about 1, a long one.
Tigers, I should say, have been successful tonight on just about every 2nd and 3rd down attempt. Here they come off the right side. Number 11 in on the run. No, that's Carlton. Just quarterback keeper.
Yeah, that was Rome that was in there and tripped him up that time.
That's another 1st down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers from the 7-yard line.
Keyshawn Rome is one of those guys that is very, very versatile. He plays that corner position, but we can also see him in the backfield.
Clock running, just under 10 minutes to play in the second period. Very fast ball game tonight. Tied up at 7 apiece. Cats need to make a tough stance right here. Handoff, Carlton. He's tackled right at about the 6.
He got hit hard.
He did. He was grabbed.
He was hit hard by Corbin York.
He just had a bear hug around him and pulled him down.
Senior back in the ball game, as we said, he's been injured. It's good to see him back in the mix with us again.
Well, a short gain. It's still Second and goal. Ball spotted on about the 6-yard line. Carthage moving players in and out right now at will. Clock down to 9:13 and counting. Second down for the Tigers.
This may be where they air one out a little bit. It's second down.
And they do. It's the end around. They have some room. Brought down on about the 2, maybe 3-yard line. That's number 36 that's Hedinger.
Yeah, Jackson Hedinger, he is a wide receiver, and that was that jet sweep that we've been talking about. He's a senior. This ball club has got 18 seniors, Jim, on it, and they're going to be in much the same position the Cats are in next year with losing that many starters.
Losing a lot of good players, but Coach Gowdy, Coach Towdy has some good players coming up for next year, some good running backs and a couple of good quarterbacks from which to choose. It's third down and goal. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Carlton in for a touchdown, 3-yard touchdown run. 3-yard run up the middle by Carlton. And it's now 13-7 with 8:17 to go in the second period. Extra point attempt coming. And they are set, ready to go. The snap, the kick is up. Ooh. Yeah. It's barely just across. It was a short one, but it made it. And our score, 14-7 with 8:17 to go in the second period. We'll be back after this on the KDO Wildcat Sports Network.
Today's Wildcat game is brought to you by Edgewood Bowling Center of Neosho, Missouri. Located at 2811 Gardner Edgewood Drive, they now have new synthetic lanes for adult and children bowling leagues and a smoke-free environment. They also have a certified pro shop and hosting for private parties. They offer Cosmic Glow Bowling on Fridays and Saturdays after 8 p.m. To learn more about Edgewood Bowling Center and their leagues for adults and children, the phone number is 417-451-4505.
There's 8 minutes and 17 seconds left in the half, and the Carthage Tigers have just gone up over the Wildcats by a score of 14-7. So it's up to the Cats, Jim, to come back and answer. Looks like we've got Boston Patterson, and I believe that is Noah Soriano, who had a 52-yard run back, by the way, last week.
He is the speedster. That's who they want to kick away from. Trying to get some of the scores. Don't have much success on the internet. Trying to get some scores from other games around the area to pass those along. We'll get that figured out later. Windy conditions.
Yeah, the ball just came off the tee. They're going to have someone hold it now, so
we'll have to try that a little bit later.
Yeah, the upbacks are Keyshawn Rome and Boston. And
it's a good high kick. Hang time taken on the 7-yard line. And good run off the right side across the 30. Knocked out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Good run back by the Cats. Still having a difficult time trying to get some internet service, so we'll get back a little bit later on that.
Special teams coordinator Logan Shaw, we had an interview with him this last week, and he has the special teams out there on Sunday afternoon going through their drills, and he can tell you who makes the tackle before the ball is ever moved.
Ball spotted on the 31-yard line, 1st and 10 Cats. Their second attempt, their last drive stalled on the 25 when they coughed it up on a fumble, and the Tigers were able to capitalize. Hudson in motion. Spival back to throw. He's got a man open. That's Williams on the far side. Pickup of maybe 3 on the play before he's knocked out of bounds on the far side of the field. Cats, a much different ball team when Cade Spiva is under center.
Webb City is up on the Joplin Eagles in the second quarter by a score of 12-7. What an exciting ball game there.
Very close game. Spival back to throw. He's got a man. Oh, had a man wide open. Williams is open here on the near side of the field. And they were quickly coming in. The wall was collapsing. Missed opportunity by the Cats. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
Over at Seneca, the Indians are up over Lamar Tigers in the second quarter by a score of 15-0, and McDonald County Mustangs in the second quarter over East Newton by a score of 14-7.
Very close games across the region. Third down and the long 7, almost 8 yards. Spiva back to throw. He's got a man open, underthrown, intended for Hudson Williams on about the 42-yard line. That'll bring up fourth down, and the Cats will be punting.
Well, Carthage brought it that time, and they brought every one of their people up, including a couple of inside linebackers, and put a lot of pressure on Spiva.
The Tigers know Spiva is not going to be the runner he used to be like earlier in the season. He can still throw very well, but they're trying to get to him, and the Cats are doing their best to protect him, and they've done a good job thus far in the ball game.
Hudson Williams back to punt the ball for the Cats.
They had some good punts in practice tonight. There's a low-hanging punt. Let's see if it's going to take a Wildcat bounce. It will. Back to the 30-yard line, 29-yard line. Inside.
Trelican is going to chase that ball down and get to about the 30-yard line for the Cats.
Good punt, good roll for the Cats. Tigers will take over at their 29-yard line. 7:49 left in the second period. Very fast first half for both these teams. Senior night here at Carthage High School, and like John had mentioned, 18 seniors graduating, and they also recognized other members of the staff and the school that are seniors this year that contribute to athletics at Carthage High School. First and 10 Tigers, 29-yard lines. They lead 14-7. Good run. Oh, nice tackle. That was Carlton. He got up to about the 35-yard line. Pickup of about 5 on the play.
It looks like that was McGahey that made the tackle that time.
Ball spotted just shy of the 35-yard line. Yates back in for the Tigers. They'll move those players around. That was Morgan, I guess. Yates is number 9. Morgan is number 8. They'll utilize them with plays brought in.
Well, the Cats need to make a stand right here, and let's get the ball back before we go in at halftime.
2nd and 5. Carlton looking to throw. He's back. Trying to find somebody down deep. The wall's collapsing. He's been flushed out. He's going to be knocked out of bounds. It'll be a short pickup of maybe 3 yards. Not quite enough for a first down, but still a good effort by the quarterback.
Trey Harden from his inside linebacker position, when he saw that secondary had everybody covered, took off after Carlton himself.
And they'll spot the ball actually on the 37-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 to go. Cats need to put a stop right here and force a punt and get that ball back. 7 minutes exactly left in this second period.
Austin Patterson on the corner over on this side. And Yates is...
Carlton going to keep it up the middle. He has enough across the 40, about the 41-yard line. It'll be enough for a Tiger first down. Chains are moving. Carlton is so strong. He can pass and also run with the ball very well.
Number 36 back in for the Tigers. That is Jackson Harrington.
Ball on the 41. 1st and 10 Tigers. One man in motion. Hand off to Collins. Up the middle. He has some room. Got to carry for almost a first down. Enough for good 10-yard pickup. Nothing fancy about that. He just carried the pile, and they pushed him forward. It is a first down for the Tigers.
It's hit hard in there the first time by Brody Crane, and he just kind of picked Brody up and carried him.
Morgan back in the ball game for the Tigers. It's hard to come across that line when you're facing 315, 325. I mean, these are some big young men out there.
Yeah.
That's a pitch back to Collins. Has some room across the 45 and brought down for about a 6-yard pickup. Off left tackle.
Yeah, it was a crew of Cats that time led by Trey Harden to make the tackle.
Ball will be spotted on the 43-yard line. 5:35 to go. Score is 14-7 Carthage.
Number 11, Braxton Ralston, back into the game for the Tigers. And he's going to line up over here as a wideout on this side. There'll be 2 wideouts on this side and a tight end over on the other side.
One man in motion, and they'll run it again up the middle. Has some room. Carlton almost broke loose. Crossed the 35 to about the 34-yard line. He had one man to beat. Trey Harden was in on the tackle for the Cats.
I'm trying to see who that, that one man was Kenton Smith.
They're getting a workout. You know, when the safeties and corners have to come in and put a stop on them. And they were carrying the pile. 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Ball on the 34-yard line. Inside Neosho territory. And like another score here before halftime, they're taking time off the clock in no hurry.
4:47 left in the half.
Quarterback keeper. No, it's a direct pitch to Collins again. And he gained about 5-6 yards on that play.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be 2nd and about 4.
You know, you develop this run game, then all of a sudden you hit him with a pass, and we're not expecting, and watch out. And Carthage has done that well this season.
Morgan back in the ball game for the Tigers. Cats are going to have to settle in and make a decision.
Ball on the 29-yard line. It's 2nd down and 5 for the Tigers. Carlton back. He's being pressured. He's got a man open. He is. He completed down inside the 15-yard line. A couple of Cats were right there, but a nice pass to Collins coming in out of the backfield.
Yeah, the book on Collins is not only does he come out of the backfield and he's a great runner, but he's pretty good size physically as well.
Well, the ball spotted on the 13-yard line. Tigers in business. Clock running at 3:50 to go. They'll take as much time as they can off the clock. Collins in the backfield with Carlton. And it's going to be a handoff this time to Collins off right tackle down to about the 10, close to the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like he picked up about 3 on that play.
John, I don't know what you did to Sam tonight. He's just very quiet.
Yeah.
I think he had too much barbecue this evening.
Yeah, may have been.
Ball spotted on the 9-yard line. 2nd down, 7 to go. They get down to about the 1.5-yard line for a 1st and 10, so they don't have to score a touchdown to get a 1st and 10.
Yeah, I have a feeling Carthage is going to keep the ball on the ground this time. And here comes Langston. Oh, no, that's Carlton, and he scores himself.
There he goes. 7 yards. 7-yard TD run by Carlton. Hometown faithful very happy with that. The run coming at the 2:53 mark. Left in this second period. Extra point attempt coming. It's now 20-7. Extra point. And the kick is up. It looks good. It is 21-7 our score. Carthage on top of the Wildcats with 2:53 to go in the second period. We'll take a quick timeout and return after this on the
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
2 minutes and 53 seconds left in the half, and Carthage has scored again. The score is 21-7. Cats have got to come back and answer right here, Jim.
They certainly do. There's plenty of time in which to do so, but they need to have some first downs, take some time off the clock, and score going into the locker room and tighten this game up just a little bit. Carthage did that. They just methodically would run down the field, have them on their heels. Defense would be on their heels, and then they would strike. And they've hit pay dirt 3 times tonight. Cats have 1 lone score, but at least we're back in the scoring column this ball game. Here's the kick. It's a good high kick. Going to be taken down on the 5-6 yard line, and a good run around. Here's
Number 9, that is Langston.
And
Radigan.
And he's taken down across the 35. Let's see where they spot the ball.
Yeah, Phoenix Radigan is a sophomore, and he was in there. Nice run by him to put the Cats in good position.
A good start for the Cats here. 2:45 to go. Plenty of time. And if they can get their timing down, Spiva has had good protection so far. He hasn't been sacked in the ball game. That's always encouraging. And he does have that left leg injury. He's heavily wrapped up in tape and has a brace on his left knee.
Well, we've got double trips over here, and the ball's going to give to Welch, and he's still up, and he's going to crawl for the first down, it looks like.
Very close. He broke a tackle and gained another 4 after being stopped, and a nice second effort by Denver.
Yeah, they're going to say it's about a yard.
Second down, Cats hurry up offense. Clock is running. They're going to hand it off again. He has some room across midfield. Spins around down to the 47. He's brought down. It's 1st and 10 Cats. They'll move the chains, get reset, and let's go, boys. Ball spotted on the 47, 1st and 10 Cats. Spiva in the backfield. He's going to throw this time. He's got a man open. He has Welch. Oh, what a nice catch. Down to the 25-yard line. Oh, he's out of bounds. Oh, he caught the ball, but he just stepped out. He had one defender on him. Oh, what a great effort by Hudson Williams.
Yeah.
A good pass from Spiva, right on target. That is so, so close. The clock will be stopped, 2nd and 10. They'll get some plays in. 2:04 remaining.
Pile over here on this side with Hudson Williams. We've got 2 wideouts on the other side. Spiva's rolling.
He throws it. Oh, intended for Welch. Yeah, maybe he was knocked out of bounds. It was completed this time, and he knocked out of bounds. A very short gain, if any. He was hit immediately after he caught the ball. Spiva that time, John, had to roll. You can tell he's lost some speed, but he had nowhere to throw it. Because, he wasn't the threat like before when he could just run and fake the linebackers out. But 3rd down and long yardage. Spiva back to throw. He's got a man open. Good pass play to Hudson Williams. Very close to another first down.
Looks
John,
like that ball was knocked out of his hands, but I think the rule is going to be that the ground cannot cause a fumble, so the Cats still have it.
It'll be 4th down and about less than a yard. Cats will go for it here. The ball spotted on the 38-yard line.
And here comes Blaine Patterson into the ball game. Spiva's going to go out and rest for just a minute or two.
Rest that leg a little bit. And he's going to run it up the middle. He has some room across the 35.
And he's got the first down.
Still on his feet, brought down on about the 33. That'll move the chains, keep this drive alive. Cade Spiva coming back in. And that's what Coach Towdy wants. He knows that Cade just really doesn't want to try to re-injure that sore leg of his. 1st and 10, Spiva back to throw. He's got a man deep, one man open. It's complete. Down to the 6-yard line. 1st and 10 Cats.
Boston Patterson.
Boston is so tall. He's 6'3", just reached right up and took that away from the defender.
Yeah, he came down to make sure that he stayed in bounds. He jumped up and down about 4 times in bounds with his foot.
A 1st and goal for the Cats. 5-yard line. One man in motion. Here's Welch. He's going down about the 3. Cats saw some opening, and that wall collapsed quickly. Cats trying to get some substitutions in. 1:08 and counting. They bring the big boys in right now, John. That front line is huge for the Cats.
Yeah, that is the tank line, as Coach Towdy calls it. And we'll see just exactly what happens. But Trey Harden is normally involved in that as well. And looks like we've got 2 backs.
Clock is winding. Cats still have their timeouts. Hand off to on the left side. They look like Trey Harden that time in there. Gain of about a yard.
Yeah, that was Harden that time.
And they're going to call the timeout. No, they're still letting the clock run. They don't want to give Carthage any more time than necessary. 20 seconds. 3rd down. Hand off to Welch. Touchdown Wildcats. 3-yard touchdown run. That was by Welch again, and the Cats are back in business. That coming with the 0:17 mark left in the second period. Cats really, John, only made that one mistake tonight where it was costly, where they fumbled on their 25-yard line. And they've come back what they needed to do in a quick amount of time. Here's the kick for the extra point. It's blocked. Carthage is so good. They did that last week against Webb City. 17 seconds left before halftime, and our score 21-13. Carthage on top of Neosho. We'll be back after this on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
Insurance Benefits Consultants now has 2 locations to serve you. They're located at 1009 South Neosho Boulevard in Neosho and at 701 Northwest McNelly Road in Bentonville, Arkansas. They are proud supporters of the KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They provide Medicare and Medicaid supplemental policies, as well as life, health, and group health insurance plans from companies like Allstate and Colonial. For more information, call 417-451-4244 or in Arkansas, 479-431-5226.
We're excited about what the Cats are doing. They'll come back. We'll come back at halftime. I'll bet we make some adjustments. We will have the ball, and we will receive the ball back. So we very well could go into this and be tied up with very little bit of time left out of the second quarter.
Well, the Cats have played well here in this first half, and John, I don't think a flag has been thrown on the Cats. One against the holding call against the Tigers early in the first period when they were about to score their first touchdown. But the Cats have played good heads-up ball here through the ball game, 21-13. And a lot of folks didn't give the Cats a chance tonight, but Cade Spiva coming back and making a world of difference. Low snap back to Carlton. He's got a man open, and he quickly gets out of bounds on the 38-yard line with 1 second left on the clock. And now this will be...
Yeah, this will be the last one. There's no doubt about it.
Has to be. Second down and short yardage, about 2 yards for a pickup. You know he'll be going for everything right now, possibly. Cats need to be prepared and just swat that ball away. Couple of...
Well, I think we're going to have a couple of backers stay at home, too. We don't need to have Carlton dash up the middle and have an open field run into the end zone.
Well, they're taking another timeout. Carthage take their second timeout. They each get 3 each half, and Cats didn't capitalize and use a timeout on their last touchdown drive. Coach Gotti is out there with his players. It's hard to believe he's been here 20 years.
Yeah,
I think Johnny
he
came from Cherryville, Kansas, over here, and he's done a great job with this program. Turned it around, and Carthage has been a powerhouse these past 10 years for sure. 1 second left before halftime.
Yeah, we want you to stay tuned at halftime for the Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine halftime show. Then we will have some scores from around the area, and we'll talk about what the Cats have done and what they've got to do in order to sustain where they are right now and win this ball game.
You can get internet. I cannot.
Yeah,
I can't get anything on my phone. You might have to read some of those off for us tonight. All right, here we are. 2nd down and 2. Tigers with 1 second left on the clock before the half. Carlton, he's just going to air it out all the way down to the end zone. It's, almost intercepted. Oh, there's a late flag coming in. And you can't end the half on a penalty if it's defensive penalty. Let's see if it's against the Cats. What the call is going to be. Trying to find the referee out there amongst everybody, and it looks like Tigers will get another opportunity.
Yeah, it's going to be defensive pass interference.
Down. Thank goodness it's only a 15-yarder, not a spot penalty. That'll still give them good field position. No time on the clock, so this will be the last play. Pending the outcome, you cannot end the ball game or a half on a defensive penalty.
Boy, I tell you what, the Branson Pirates over in the Ozark Mountain, and I guess the Cats have taken time out, but the Branson Pirates have gone to the Ozark Mountain, and they are rolling over everybody. They're 35-0 over the Hillcrest Hornets in the second quarter.
They are a team that have struggled the past couple of years. We've been down there with the Cats last year. We lost in overtime, and year before that, I think they took it to us handily down at Branson last time we were there, but the past 2 years, they have really struggled, but they've turned that program around. A lot of teams were thankful, John, that we didn't have to play this year. And the Cats started out 5-1. They've had some tough luck against Joplin and against Republic last week. Well, the ball spotted on the, 23-yard line. Last play, and they're going to try a field goal. It'll be a 40-yard field goal attempt.
They will... Yeah, it looks like they'll have to put a second back onto the clock.
Now, they can run the play here with no time remaining. This will be it because the clock has expired. And here's the kick. It's going to be short. It's no good. He can run it back, and he is. That's Mr. Smith. He's running across the field. Oh, there's a late flag. And he's still on his feet at the 40. A good run back.
Yes, he was. It was a great run back.
Now let's see what this flag is.
Well, we may not be able to end it on if that's against Carthage.
They're still discussing. They're pointing back towards the Cats.
Well, the Cats are going in.
And they're saying, we've had enough. And I think we have as well. Because they're not going to bring him back on the field.
No, wait a minute. The flag is still out there on the field. I'm not sure. Yeah, they're all going now.
It is penalty against it's declined. And that's going to be halftime on our score. Carthage 21, Neosho 13. We'll take a timeout and return after this on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
Tally Tire at 18152 East Highway 86 is a proud supporter of local high school athletics. Tally Tire is your full-service car and truck headquarters. They carry name-brand tires such as Nexen, Mastercraft, and Uniroyal, ATC camper shells and bed covers, and do oil changes and tune-ups. Call Tally Tire today for all your automotive needs at 417-451-0457 or online at tallytire.com.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to take 30 seconds today to encourage you to pray. Because our prayers have the power to move heaven. James 5 says the prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective. When we pray, God listens. When we pray, situations can change. When we pray, miracles can happen. And heaven moves on our behalf, simply because we pray. Take some time today and pray. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
Well, hang on. No, everything's hooked.
Welcome back. It is halftime, and Jim, the Cats have shown that they can play with these Carthage Tigers, haven't they?
They have played very well tonight. No penalties against the Cats. Well, towards the very end, but it was as time had already expired. But they've played very well. Had a couple of nice drives. They missed an extra point there with 17 seconds left going in before halftime, and that's where we stand, 21-13. The Tigers have run the ball mostly this evening. They scored at 5:36 mark in the first period on a 2-yard run by Collins. Then in the second period, the quarterback, Carlton, a couple of quarterback keepers scoring on 3-yard runs and 7-yard TD runs.
Yeah, let's go into the halftime show.
I don't understand everything in the Bible. You can ask me questions in the Bible that I cannot answer.
That was Billy Graham. Now, you might be asking yourself, if he doesn't get it all, why should I believe it? Well, Mr. Graham had more to say about that.
God inspired the Bible. It's a living book that speaks to you as you read it. There's a supernatural power in reading that book. It's not like a history book. It's not a book of science. It's a book about faith. It's a book about God. I accept it by faith as the Word of God. And it's changed my life. And it feeds my soul. Every time I read the Bible, any part of the Bible, I don't care where I open up, it speaks to me.
If you'd like to discover more about God's Word, the Bible, check out our website, findpeacewithgod.net. That's findpeacewithgod.net. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 2918 East 20th Street in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
The Wildcat Minute is sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider of the Neosho Wildcats.
Welcome to this edition of Wildcat Minute. I'm John Ball, and I have got head wrestling coach Jeremy Phillips. Coach, thanks so much for visiting with us this morning.
Absolutely. Happy to do so.
Hey, you have got a tradition going on in Neosho that's gone on for a long, long time. So the first question I got to ask is, what are you going to do next?
Well, our goal, honestly, is to get back to the top, and it's not all about winning, but during the process, what young men and women become as they go through our program. And our philosophy is always to build champions on and off the mat. And what's next is taking this next group of, we got a fairly young team, and helping them become champions, not just with gold medals around their neck, but more so the character that they will take with them after wrestling's over.
Yeah, I tell you what, that is a great attribute to be able to have something like that. I understand you got 16 kids right now, and this is kind of the off-season for you, isn't it?
Correct. We will train on the mat 2 times a week, and then we'll also do some strength conditioning stuff twice a week. So we're on a 4-day-a-week program right now with the kids that are in a fall sport. We have approximately 16 high school kids and about 4 junior high kids that come over. And like I said, we're continuing to try to grow them, give them an opportunity whenever we're not in season. So there's really not an off season for wrestling. We always say out of season opportunities, and we do this in the fall, we do it in the spring, and we had a really good summer when it comes to our off season. I was very proud of the kids. Some of the kids that were absent the year before, and then they end up being a match away from either going to the state tournament or medaling at the state tournament. I saw that little extra contribution and sacrifice this summer that I think will be a game changer for them and honestly for us as a team.
And when does your season actually start?
Well, this year we're a week later and than we typically are, and it will be 11/11. So November 11th is our first official day that we can start practice.
Okay, and then practice will be pretty much a 5-day, maybe 6-day a week routine?
Correct. We oftentimes early, especially November. November is one of the toughest months for all of us because we'll do 2-a-days at least 3 times a week, if not 4. And yes, we'll practice 6 times in a week often. And like I said, there's 2-a-days in there that just help the kids get ready to do hard things. I mean, we do a lot of just extra conditioning in the mornings and then come back in the afternoons, and we can slow down and make sure we're technically sound and focus on technique more in the afternoon. But then it's just, there's a grind of preparing yourself, and November is that for us. First part of our training cycle, I typically break up our season in 3 training cycles, and that first one, is to get our gas tank where we can be tough for those 3 periods if the matches go that long, and get their minds mentally tough. For the sport of wrestling is a grueling one, and if we're not mentally prepared for tough things, then we're going to fall short on some of those matches that we shouldn't.
When do you actually hit the mats against somebody else the first time?
Well, we open up with our tournament, so that'll be December 7th this year. So we host the Neosho tournament. This will be our 37th annual Neosho wrestling tournament, so we'd appreciate any support on that day because that'll be our opening day, and we have some tough teams coming in and look forward to seeing where we're at right off the bat with that competition level. So we'd appreciate any and all support on that day. We start at 8:30 in the morning on that December 7th.
Well, it takes a whole lot of people in order to put on a tournament of that size, right?
Well, that's the thing about Neosho Wrestling. We'll basically do it from in-house and use our youth program and our JV wrestlers and just some of our alumni that will work it. And I've got just a pretty good group. It takes a handful, but you know what? We always have great support with our program. It's one for all for one. And when it comes to the needs, we support each other because we'll do the same for our youth whenever they host their tournament on 21st and 22nd, I believe. We'll provide some workers for them, and they do the same for us. So that's a special part of Neosho Wrestling, I believe, part of it anyway.
All right. Well, Coach, thanks so much for spending a little time with us, and we'll catch up with you later on this year because I'd like to be able to let our fans know and our listening audience know just exactly where you sit and how you come out in each one of your tournaments. So if we can keep in contact, then we can get that information out to everybody.
Well, that sounds great to me, Mr. Ball. I appreciate it. We really do believe that we're going to have a special season. Last year we were comprised of mainly freshmen and sophomores, and this year obviously they're going to be sophomores and juniors that fill most of our spots on our roster. And so getting some great experience for these talented young kids is going to be, I think, a factor that helps us take a few steps up and climb back towards the top. And that's our goal. But like I said, the character that we build as we work towards that top spot is most important for us. And again, I appreciate your support and helping get that word out there to our fans, and hopefully we'll draw some people in just because of our communication. So I look forward to visiting with you later on as the season gets started.
All right. Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Wildcat Minute, sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider of the Neosho Wildcats.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is Your Touchstone Energy Partner.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
A nonprofit organization, a sponsor of high school sports.
It's time for the Freeman Sports Health Minute. The Freeman Sports Team is proud to serve as the official sports medicine provider for over 20 area high schools and colleges.
Welcome to another Health Minute here on KNEO. Today we're joined once again by Dave Compton from Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine. Today's topic is, what is IT band syndrome?
The IT band starts as a muscle on top of the hip, and then as it comes down across the side of the hip down to the knee, it turns into this really fibrous band. It's a fascia band. It's very fibrous, very stiff, very tough. IT band syndrome is where either due to muscle tightness or hip weakness, and sometimes even foot alignment, the IT band kind of rubs over the knuckle of the femur, and it becomes a friction syndrome. It becomes an irritated rub. It's almost like a blister, but not technically, but that's about the best way to describe it. It's a rub or irritation, usually at the knee.
Is it something that an athlete can play through, or is it something they need to take some time off for?
Depending on the symptoms and depending on the sport, we see a lot of repetitive sports like cycling and running. We'll see a lot of this. Athlete can taper or modify their activity level and their intensity level, and sometimes can work through this with some stretching and possibly physical therapy or rehabilitation. Sometimes we have to shut down if the pain gets severe enough.
For the Freeman Sports Health Minute, I'm Adam Winkler. This portion of the game is sponsored by First Community Bank, with 2 Neosho locations, 111 East Main Street and 3005 Gardner Edgewood Drive. For personal or business banking services or for loan information, their phone number is 451-3222 or 451-2025 or online at firstcommunity.net. First Community Bank, where their slogan is, where community comes first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Happy Egg, based out of Rogers, Arkansas, has been a local business for many years with their free-range farms. They are now taking applications for prospective growers to raise hens. If you have 10 acres of land and are interested in learning more information about becoming a Happy Egg grower, their website is happyegg.com/grower or by phone at 479-925-8855. A supporter of community broadcasting on KNEO.
The Good Samaritan. It is one of the best-known stories that Jesus told. It's become synonymous with kind and selfless behavior. But Billy Graham knew there was much more to the story.
This is a story that Jesus tells directly to teach who our neighbors are. Our neighbors are people of a different race or a different cultural background, and we're to love them. Now, the gospel of Christ has no meaning unless it is applied to our fellow man who hurts and is in need. When is the last time that you shared your life with another person, or your material goods with the poor? Jesus said, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and soul and strength and mind, and thy neighbor as thyself."
Want to learn how you can share the love of Jesus Christ with others? Stop by our website, findpeacewithgod.net. That is findpeacewithgod.net. From the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
Test. Welcome back to Carthage, Missouri. We've got the same.
No, those haven't been pulled down.
Well, there's something just there. It is
There
back
you
again. It's that wire right there. Welcome back to Carthage, Missouri. It's 6 minutes and 9 seconds left in the halftime, and Jim, the band out there is not doing what bands we've seen in the past do, which is get out on the field, try to keep a straight line, and march up and down through there. This is a show, isn't it?
It is quite the production, and a lot of high schools have gone to that. Much different than many, many years ago, but still they do a great job and a great performance. You know, not Neosho, but Carthage, a very busy place. Last weekend, it was the annual Maple Leaf Festival, and people were, we were coming up this way to go to Kansas City for the girls softball game at Lee Summit, and it was like traffic jams coming in off the interstate, people coming up this way, and to see all the festivities, the parades, and the vendors and the activities. But tonight, people are crowding into the stadium to see the Wildcats of Neosho tangle with the Tigers of Carthage. And they're seeing a great ball game, 21-13 at halftime. Carthage on top of our Wildcats. We missed an extra point late in the second period when we scored our second touchdown.
Well, let's give everybody some scores from around the conference. First of all, as Jim said, seen right here on KNEO, Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. Carthage Tigers are up over the Neosho Wildcats by a score of 21-13. Over in Webb City, the Eagles from Joplin are up over Webb City at halftime, 21-19. In Lebanon, the Lebanon Yellow Jackets up over the Waynesville Tigers, 29-7. There is no score at Kickapoo between the Chiefs and the Ozark Tigers. And likewise, there is no score in Republic Willard ball game as well. And it's in the first quarter, and the Nixa Eagles are up over Glendale Falcons by a score of 14-0. We look over into the Big 8 over in Seneca. The Seneca Indians are up over Lamar Tigers by a score of 35-0. In a close one in Aurora, Cassville 7, Aurora 3. We're all tied up at halftime in McDonald County. East Newton 14 and McDonald County Mustangs 14 as well. Over in Nevada, they are playing the Pleasant Hill Roosters. That's a crossover ball game, and right now Pleasant Hill is winning at halftime 32-21. Mount Vernon is beating the Cubs by 2 in Mount Vernon 22-2. Over in the Ozark Conference, Logan Rogersville Wildcats are down at halftime to the Bolivar Liberators by a score of 35-7. And as we said earlier, this Branson team just keeps rolling. It's halftime in Branson, and they're up over the Hillcrest Hornets by a score of 35-0. The Carl Junction Bulldogs are tied with the West Plains Zizzers at 20. And the Mayfield Blue Jays are tied with the Central Bulldogs in the first quarter. So there's a few scores for you from around the area. Jim, I think in the first half we came out and we showed that the old Wildcats are back.
They certainly are, and it's a world of difference when Cade Spiva's under center tonight. He's doing a great job passing. He still has a sore left knee, and where his injury was following that Willard game back on October 4th. Nothing wrong with his passing, but when they needed to have a quarterback keeper, they brought in the young Blaine Patterson to gain that extra yardage. Then they brought Cade back in, doing a good job shuffling quarterbacks in and out of the ball game, and that has made a huge difference. But the Cats on the opening drive tonight, Carthage marched down the field almost 75 yards to gain their first touchdown, and the Cats really didn't have an answer because the Tigers are scoring or running 10 yards at a time, 15 yards, 20 yards on each running play. It took a lot of time off the clock, almost 6 minutes on that opening drive, and they took an early 7-0 lead. The Cats came back. They did answer late in the first period at the 2:39 mark on a nice run by Welch right up the middle. And that's where they ended after the first period. But at halftime, 21-13 Carthage on top of Neosho.
Hey, while we've got just a few minutes, let's thank some of our sponsors. Sponsors are People's Bank of Seneca, Missouri Southern State University, Happy Egg, Compton CPA Group, First Community Bank, Specialty Risk Insurance, ProLube Tire and Auto Center, Southwest Missouri Bank, Farm Bureau agent Josh Dodson, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and of course we want you to stay tuned after the ball game for the post-game coaches show, which is brought to you by Arvest there in Neosho. While Wildcats all the time, check out the Neosho Wildcats dedicated video portal at kneo.org. It's a site dedicated completely to your Neosho Wildcats. Watch the game live and see the upcoming game schedules on the Neosho Wildcats portal at kneo.org. Looks like the Cats are kind of warming up just a little bit, and as we said, we will receive the ball coming back, Jim, so the opportunities for us are pretty good to get right back, not only in the midst of this ball game because we are, but to possibly tie it up.
Cats need a good drive here, and you're absolutely right. They could get back in the ball game with a score, and so crucial, and not to give the ball back quickly to the Tigers because we know what they can do. They can, pound is kind of their goals, and they've done that very well tonight. Cats have held their own after that first series, and they've found an answer. The Cats have had a good run back on an interception. And
well, we've intercepted the ball twice. Both times it's been Caden Smith that has intercepted the ball. And the thing that I'm amazed by that has changed more than anything else is Brock Pyle being in motion. And you don't know which way he's going to be in motion yet.
And Brock is a very strong, solid young man, and we've seen him throughout the year, and it's hard to believe he's a senior this year. Or no, he's a junior this year.
That's right.
And he has had a good year. He'll be back next year, and I'm just looking at what the Cats will have next year as well. John, we'll have to keep an eye on some of the scores up in the Kansas City area. I know we don't have them. Daniel doesn't have them here, but we can look those up a little bit later. I do not have internet service on my phone. I have a different carrier, phone service carrier than what you have, so I will be unable to pass along some of those scores tonight. We'll have to. Sam, do you have able to get internet on your phone tonight? You don't have that. Okay, so we're just out of luck that way. Almost ready to start the third period of action.
Yeah, we'll be ready to go here in just about 41 seconds. Carthage is going out. Tried a field goal that was short. In fact, it was short to the point that Rome grabbed that ball in the infield and took off running across the field with it with no time left on the clock and almost broke loose.
So. He certainly did. And, the 40-yard field goal attempt, they go, why not? Might as well try. We're up 8 points, so we could use an extra 3 points. And we're ready to go here for second half action. We might want to turn the lights back on, and we will see what's going on. Here we are. The Cats are back in action. Carthage still huddled up at midfield or at the 40-yard line.
Phoenix Raglan is over on this side way back for the Cats, as well as Boston Patterson. The up backs are Hudson Williams and Keishon Rome. We'll see where the ball goes.
Soriano and Patterson and several others in the backfield. Here comes the opening kickoff of the third quarter. It's a good high kick, going to be on the far side of the field. And they're just going to have to fall on it. Thought it took a Wildcat. Did not take a Wildcat.
No,
they fumbled. How did they fumble that? Carthage got the ball.
Well, I'm not sure that we even fumbled it. I don't think we got on it fast enough because we thought the ball was going to go out of bounds.
And
Carthage dove on it.
It's just like it has to go 10 yards, and the kicking team can fall on it, and that's what they did. Cats not playing heads-up ball on that play. It didn't bounce their way, and the Cats are on defense instead of offense. The Tigers will take over on the 23-yard line. And, John, could be a big turn of events.
Well, it could, but defense has been to this place before, and I'm sure they're going to make the opportunities for the offense to come right back.
Carlton in the backfield. Collins, that's a direct handoff to Collins. He has some room up the middle, down to about the 15-yard line. Good pickup of about 5 on the play.
Yeah, he was tackled in there by Boston Patterson that time.
They will trick the defense. They'll use Carlton and Collins together, and the snap went to the running back instead of the quarterback. It will fool the linebackers. They go, who has the ball?
Now Morgan back in for Carthage Tigers now.
It's second down at about a long 3 to go for the Tigers. That was a 7-yard pickup. The ball spotted on the 16-yard line. And it's a handoff this time around the left end. He has some room. It's inside the 10 to about the 7. That was number 10. Well, it's Carlton. He's a handoff to the quarterback. You don't see that very often, but direct snap to Collins again.
Yeah, hardened in on the tackle that time.
Carlton, a good runner in his own right. Carthage has had some good quarterbacks in their history in the past 10 or 15 years.
Well, they have, but I'll tell you, the play calling just in this ball game has been just pretty exceptional for Carthage.
First and goal, the handoff up the middle to Collins across the 5, down to about the 3-yard line. Uh-oh. There's a little pushing and shoving, extra activity on behalf of the Tigers. The ball spotted on the 4, actually, where his knee went down.
Yeah, Harden again made the tackle that time. It's second and goal from about the 4, I believe.
That's where it's spotted, right on the 4-yard line. Tigers knocking at the door. Trying to extend their lead. It's 21-13. One man in motion. Carlton with a handoff up the middle. He's across the line. It's touchdown Tigers. Touchdown Carthage coming at the 10-14 mark. 4-yard TD run by Carlton. That's his third of the evening. Extra point coming. They'll kick it from the 10-yard line. They've been good all evening on their extra points. The snap is up. The kick is up. It is good. Our score now 28-13 in favor of Carthage on top of Neosho. We'll return after this on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
Do you need a move of God in your life? Seneca Assembly of God is hosting revival services with Reverend Larry Willoughby from October 27th through the 30th. Come and experience God's presence on Sunday, October 27th at 10 a.m., October 28th and 29th at 7 p.m., and Wednesday, October 30th at 6:30 p.m. Join us at 2310 Cherokee Avenue in Seneca, where God is still performing miracles, healing hearts, and turning lives around through the power of the gospel. Don't miss your chance to be part of something life-changing at the 2024 Seneca Assembly of God Revival.
Scored due to kind of a miscalc on the Wildcats receiving the ball, but now they'll get an opportunity to get the ball again. It'll be the same guys in the background. It's going to be Hudson Williams and Boston Patterson back deep.
And the wind coming across it east-northeast. Still very strong tonight, blowing that ball off the tee. And that's why they tried to kick that field goal at the end of the first half. Here comes the kick. It's a short one, going to be taken. Let's see. It's going to go out of bounds on the 32.
So there'll be a flag on that play, and then the Cats will start on good field position.
Should start on the 40-yard line. Let's see if they'll march it off here. Not a good kick. That wind is coming. They're kicking into the wind. And they'll 5-yard penalty from the spot where it went out, and the Cats will have the ball on their 38-yard line. Good field position to start their first possession of the second half.
Well, the Cats are under the gun now. We need to get down the field and score quickly and get things going in our direction again.
Need a good drive. Spive in the backfield. Welch, number 4. 2 men here on the right side, 2 on the far side of the field.
Lincoln Howard and
they'll hand it off. A good. Oh, Welch upended on about the 42 after he got about 3-4 yards. He had saw some wide open space.
Yeah, there was a nice job by the offensive line opening up that hole for him that time.
2nd down and 6 to go. Another handoff to Welch. He's trying to wait for his block. He's got some room, and he falls forward very close to a first down on about the 47-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably going to be 3rd and about 1. No, it's first down. You're right.
He got just enough. Ball spotted on the left hash mark, far side hash mark. Cats are in business. Carthage, very stingy defense. They average giving up 15 points a game. Tonight they've given up 13. Last week they gave up 13. See what the Cats can do. Spiva back to throw, a man open. And ball swatted away. Intended on the receiver on the far side of the field. That was Hudson Williams. That's been his favorite receiver tonight. John, I'm surprised they haven't seen from Soriano in the ball game.
No, I haven't. I've not seen him either. I've been using him sparingly.
He came up limping last week. I don't know if they're saving him for district action next week.
Trey Harden is one of the wide receivers. There's 4 receivers over on that side and 1 over here.
And he's going to, almost completed to
Patterson.
Boston Patterson at the 40, but the ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage, and it just kind of floated out there. It was anybody's ball.
Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and 10 now. This is the time that you want Spiva to be really healthy, because a real healthy Cade Spiva could run for that first down, especially if there's nobody wide open.
Well, the ball's spotted on the 47-yard line. 9:24 to go. Score is 28-13 in favor of the Tigers. Spival back to throw. He scrambles. He's got a man open. Oh, a little underthrown. Would have been enough for a first down. Intended on the far side to Boston Patterson. And the Cats will be forced to punt. Good defense by the Tigers on that series of plays. And the ball spotted on the 47. They had one first down in that drive. It stalls quickly. Tigers will be back on offense. They step away. They had every man in the box. Give him plenty of room. That's a good high kick. Going to be taken down on about the 14-yard line. Has a little room off to the right side. Being chased by the Cats, being knocked out of bounds at around the 31, 32. Well, they're spotted right at the 30.
Yeah, that was a good kick by Houston, or by Williams that time. I started to say Houston, but it wasn't. It was by Williams that made that kick. We've been watching 2 or 3 different people kick the ball, and with the wind back behind you like this, it'll really carry, and he took advantage of it, got it way up in the air.
Well, they'll move the ball back a couple of yards. Say he went out at the 28-yard line. That's where the Tigers will take over. 9 minutes, 9 seconds left in this third period.
Well, the Tigers have yet to punt the ball. I think the Cats have punted it twice.
Carlton remains in the backfield. One man in motion. Quick handoff around the left side. Cuts back. Oh, what a nice tackle by the Cats. That's number 8 in on the tackle for the Cats tonight.
Yeah, that's Corbin York.
No gain on the. I was saying no gain on the play.
Yeah, they're saying it's second and about 8. It looks like to me.
Ball spotted just shy of the 30-yard line. Tigers are going to take some time, milk that play clock, run the time off the clock. 8:35 to go in the third period. Carthage on top, 28-13. Carlton with the quarterback keeper fakes it to the right. He's across the 35. Far short of a first down. And they'll spot the ball on the 36-yard line.
There continues to be just a little bit of extracurricular activity out there. Hopefully the officials have got a handle on it, and they're paying close attention to it.
Last game, regular season game for both teams. District action starts next week. Carthage most assuredly will have a bye, but it depends on who Neosho will play next week, hopefully at home. Here's a run up the middle. It's enough for a first down across the 40 down to about the 42-yard line.
There was a flag thrown in the backfield, and Jackson Ertl is looking at it. It is a hold, and it's going to be against Carthage. Ertl was held back there in the backfield, and the referee was the one that saw it and made the call.
That's a 10-yard penalty there. Mark it off, move the ball back to the 26-yard line, bring up third down and a long yardage.
Well, over in Webb City has just scored in the third quarter, and the score is 21-27 in favor of the Webb City.
Very good ball game going on tonight at Cardinal Stadium, as well as here in Carthage. Carthage on top of our Cats, 28-13.
Third and about 12.
And a nice little pass play, little screen pass. Collins has some room up to about the 39-yard line, and that's going to be enough for a first down. See where they spot it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We talked about the size of Collins that time. He is a big young man, and he took about 3 of our defenders along with him for that last 5 yards.
Cats keep the drive alive. Ball on the 39-yard line, 6:58 and counting in the third period. Fast ball game so far. You're in tune to the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network tonight. First and 10, Tigers. Oh, a little end around. Double handoff, tripped up, just crossing the 40-yard line. Pickup of 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. Not much there. Cats were ready for that.
Canton Smith in on the tackle that time. Coming up from his safety position.
6:25, fastball game when they don't pass. And they keep the drives alive on these running plays.
Well, it's in the third quarter, and Republic Tigers are up over Willard Tigers by a score of 21-0.
Republic is tough again this year. They played for the state championship last year. Carlton with a handoff. He fakes a handoff. He has some running room up to about the 50. John, there hasn't been any big plays in this game. I mean, there's been a 120-yard run to start the game, but nothing like a big, long pass play or
it's just a matter of grinding it out. Canton Smith made the tackle that time as well.
1st and 10 Tigers from their own 49-yard line, and the clock continues to run. It's just been how close this ball game is. And talking to some of the coaches in the box, up in the press box at halftime, they say this has been a good ball game. Well, hard-fought game between these two good teams. Handoff up the middle. Gain of about 4. Off left tackle, they just push the pile. One young man, number 75, loses his helmet for the Tigers.
Yeah, and he'll have to go about that. That is Jack Brown. He's a senior, and he comes in at that 325 number.
Remember when we used to think 180 was big in high school? If you weighed 180, 190, you were a monster. Not the case anymore. Ball spotted on the 46-yard line, 2nd down and 5 to go. Here's Collins. Again, he has enough for a 1st down across the 40 before he's hit by several Cats. Trey Harden in on the tackle.
Again, that was a direct snap right to him. And it's going to be enough for the 1st down.
They're just grinding this out. A little miscue at the beginning of this third period was costly for the Cats. It was 21-13 at halftime. The initial kickoff went to the Cats, and the Tigers came up. The ball bounced their way before one of the Cats could get on it, and they punched it in, 25-yard drive in a little over a minute's time, and that's where we stand, 28-13. Here's Carlton. Oh, he's hit hard. Back around maybe a gain of about 1 at the most.
Yeah, well, that 4 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third quarter, and Carthage is just methodically going downfield, and I have a feeling they're going to hit a wall here in just a minute.
Something is about to happen. Something's going to break loose. We can just feel that. Under 4 minutes. I thought we were going to let Sam do the ball game here in the third quarter. Sam, are you still awake tonight?
Yep.
Okay. We're just double checking. 2nd down and long yardage. Yeah, Carlton's going to run up the middle. He fakes that so well. He gains another 5 yards. John, he goes back like he's going to throw. The linebackers are frozen. The holes open up, and he can run up the middle for 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, there's kind of an interesting deal going on between Jack Brown and Trey Harden. And Trey's spent a minute or two talking to Brown just a second ago, and the official standing there looking. I'm sure Trey's not in a position that he wants to get that big boy's ire up, that's for sure.
They're not talking about where they're going after the game tonight. We know that. Here's another direct hand pitch back. Back snap to this time to the quarterback.
Yeah, it's going to make it 4th and about 4, I think.
Well, here's a big play for the Cats. Ball spotted on the 33-yard line. Too far for a field goal. Into the wind. And their defense is held, and looks like they're going to go for it. Cats would like to put a stop right here. Clock down, play clock running down, 8 seconds. They need to hurry with that. 4th down and 4 yards to go.
This would be a good stop for the Cats if they could get it right here. Of course, he's going to air the ball out.
He has some room. He has the first down to the 25-yard line. A nice little pickup of about 8 yards. Had the receiver open, and a hole opened up, and they jumped on it.
Just a little bit of a screen pass out there to the side, and he had enough to pick up the first down.
And nothing fancy about the play, just methodically marching down the field. Well, most of this third period, it has been all Tiger football. They've had possession. The Cats had one possession. They had a first down, and it got stalled, and they were forced to punt.
And there's a ball, that back snap again, but nothing doing that time.
Yeah, the Cats were ready. Gain of about maybe a yard on the play, down to the 25-yard line. We're under a minute and a half to go in the third period.
Yeah, this time with the defense out on the floor or field as much as they have been, we're going to get some extra guys in to give them a little bit of a breather.
They're shuffling players in and out for the Tigers, bringing in new play calls.
Minute and 11 seconds left in the third quarter.
Ball on the 25-yard line, second down, and 9 to go for the Tigers. And here's Carlton. He's trying to find some room. Not much there. Gain of 2 on the play. That keeps the clock going. Neither team has used a timeout. They both have. There's a timeout right there. The line judges.
Yeah, there's a
player down.
Player down, yeah. And that is number 81. That is Carson Murray. And he's down, and he is, can't tell what he's holding there, but he is.
Well, they're going to be on the floor for a little while or out on the field. Let's take a timeout as well, and we'll return after this on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
The law offices of Wood & Peterson is sponsoring this portion of Neosho Wildcat Athletics, located at 217 South Lafayette, Neosho, and 431 Virginia Avenue in Joplin. They serve Southwest Missouri with personal claim representation. For more information, the phone number is 417-451-4141 or online at neoshoattorney.com. The law offices of Wood & Peterson are proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats. The Sports Locker, located at 1206 Neosho Boulevard, Neosho, is a proud supporter and supplier of Neosho Wildcat Athletics. Open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturday. They carry all the biggest brands, including Under Armour, Nike, and Adidas sports apparel and equipment. Be sure to check out their Facebook page at Sports Locker Team Sales and Specials, or their number is 417-451-9300. Proud supporters of the Neosho Wildcats.
Do you need a move of God in your life? Seneca Assembly of God is hosting revival services with Reverend Larry Willoughby from October 27th through the 30th. Come and experience God's presence on Sunday, October 27th at 10 a.m., October 28th and 29th at 7 p.m., and Wednesday, October 30th at 6:30 p.m. Join us at 2310 Cherokee Avenue in Seneca, where God is still performing miracles, healing hearts, and turning lives around through the power of the gospel. Don't miss your chance to be part of something life-changing at the 2024 Seneca Assembly of God Revival.
Down, so we want to thank some more of our sponsors. We want to thank Calvary Baptist Church, Neosho Daily News, Crowder College, State Farm Agent Eric Norris, Joe Ringstaff, he's your financial advisor for Edward Jones, First Free Will Baptist Church and Neosho Family Market, and Josh Dodson, he is your Farm Bureau agent, as well as Clark Funeral Home. We want to thank all of those folks. We really appreciate what they do for us, especially Jim, as this football season is coming to an end here one of these days. We're grateful that they've stayed with us this long, and look forward to a real healthy basketball season before too long.
Well, the player is coming off the field, and he's holding his side. I think he's going to be okay. He's going to be sore. That's Carson Murray, a tight end, injured on that last play, and they kept him down on the field for quite some time.
Yeah, but they're getting ready to start back again. Cats are just kind of milling around over there on their side of the football. It's going to be third and looks like about 7. It's exactly what the scoreboard said. They agree with me, Jim.
Finally, they believed us. Clock is running now again. Carthage doing a good job of handling the clock tonight and killing a lot of time, waiting to the last second to snap the ball. And we are ready for action again. Collins in the backfield with Carlton. And the Carlton back to throw. He's got a man open. He's got a man open on the end zone. No good. Incomplete.
And there's a flag.
And it looks like it'd be pass interference against the Cats because he was all over that receiver without turning his back towards the quarterback. Going for the ball, he went right for the receiver. And that was down around the 5-yard line.
And that'll take the ball down. There's 14 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, at least he prevented a touchdown.
But that'll be another first down.
It certainly will be. See, this close will be half the distance to the goal. And the umpire's going to mark it off. He can stop any time. Its ball will be spotted on the, looks like the 12-yard line. 14 seconds left. Now he moves it back to the 13.
No, they can't figure out what to do with the chains, and they've called the head official is out there talking to Coach Towdy.
They just want a clarification. This important drive here. Tigers could go up by 3 scores going into the fourth period and give them a big advantage in this ball game. Cats have fought back. They've played well. Had a good first half. It was 21-13 at halftime.
Well, apparently we're going to... And Coach Towdy's going back over on his side, and the crew chief comes out back to his backfield position.
And hand off to Collins, the big man, down to about the 2. And it'll be enough for first down, so they'll have at least 4 shots to get it in. And that's going to be the end of the third period. Our score, Carthage 28, Neosho 13. We'll return after this on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
You found it, the ultimate car wash. The one that leaves your vehicle looking brand new every single time. Do we have a prep team that pre-washes? You bet. Over 300 ports applying soap to your vehicle? Yes, sir. 40 high-pressure nozzles providing over 2,500 psi of pressure? Who wouldn't? Buff and dry features that dry your car along with combined 100 horsepower blowers? Try 150. Be careful, we might just blow you away.
Welcome back to Carthage, Missouri. It is the fourth quarter. Carthage Tigers at the end of the third quarter made it down to the 3-yard line, so the Cats have got their job cut out for them. The score is 28-13 in favor of Carthage.
Carlton going to hang on to it. Now hands off to Collins up the middle. Not much there. He's pushed back. Good stand by the Cats.
Well, that's exactly what the Cats are going to have to do right now, and for no other reason to get some confidence, hopefully get the defense off of the field and get the offense back up there.
John, during that third period, the Tigers held the ball for almost 10 minutes, and, it's hard on the defense. They have to be tired being out there on their feet all that time and getting pushed and pushed and pushed around. I know they don't like it.
I've got 2 wide receivers off over on this side, and now here comes
Carlton. Oh, what a nice hit. He stopped it, and that's Trey Harden, it looks like.
Yeah, it is. Trey Harden made the tackle that time.
He came right in and grabbed just a good old bear hug. He says, "You're not going anywhere."
And it lost about half a yard, it looks like, on that play.
It'll be third down and goal for the Tigers. Clock under 11 minutes. It's been ball control all night for this Tiger team, and they'll wear you down. That's what they've done most of the season. They've lost only one ball game. Third down and goal, one man in motion. And they hand it off, and he's not going anywhere. Gain of about a yard on the play.
Yeah, nice job by the defense that time. Three times goal line stands. Fourth time is a charm, but you can just see the defense gaining momentum every time now.
The ball on the 2-yard line. See if the Cats can make a stand. The clock still runs. Play clock down to 20.
Cats looking over at the Neosho faithful, and they're raising their hands saying, let's make some noise. Let's do something, get going here.
One man substitutions coming in.
Clock's down to 6.
Ball on the 2, 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Gonna hand it off. Touchdown, Tigers. 2-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, Langston goes in for the score.
Collins again. At run coming at the 9:54 mark. It's now 34-13. Carthage, the extra point coming. Cats have an uphill battle right now. They need to score and score quickly. Extra point coming. The snap, a kick is up. It looks good. It is. 35-13. Carthage on top of Neosho. We'll return after this on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
At the Hillcrest Church of Christ, we're striving to be His own people, eager to do what is good. Join us for worship at 10 and 6 Sundays, and for class Sunday morning at 9 and Wednesday evening at 7. You're sure to find a warm welcome and friendly people seeking to please God according to His Word. Wildcats, join us every Tuesday morning before school for Devo and Donuts at 7 a.m. Learn more about the Hillcrest Church of Christ at neoshochurchofchrist.org.
Welcome back. There's 9 minutes and 54 seconds left in the ball game, and Carthage is up over the Cats by a score of 35-13, but they're getting ready to kick off back to our Neosho Wildcats. Jim, we need to score here, if nothing else, to get some confidence.
That we do. Nothing fancy about that drive from the Tigers. They just wear you down, and that's what they have done to our Tiger defense. Defense was on the field for a good last 12 minutes of this third period and fourth quarter, and I know that has to take a toll, and they gave it a valiant effort. There's a low kick into the turf, this time taken by number 1 Hudson Williams across the field. He's got some room up to about the 35-yard line, and he's brought down. It'll be 1st and 10 Cats from that position.
Yeah, that was a nice run back by Hudson Williams that time for almost his third base position in baseball, fielding a ground ball and picking it up and carrying it forward.
That kick was nothing to write home about. It just a
well, now the Joplin Eagles in the third quarter are up by 1, 28-27 over Webb City.
That's a close one. Here's Spiva back. He's got a long down the field. Is there a flag?
No.
No flag on the play.
Well, wait a minute.
Down to the 32-yard line. Let's see.
Williams, yeah, there's a flag. There sure is. It's all the way back up here at the 35-yard line.
Either there was some defensive holding or hanging on. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. It's against the defense, against the Tigers. Let's see where they'll spot it. In high school, it's not a spot foul. They'll mark off some yardage, and that's what they'll do. It's a 1st and 10. For the Cats. Clock is stopped at 9:41 to go. They'll move the chains. And the ball will...
It's an automatic first down, but I thought they would...
move the ball a little bit further.
Ball. That's interesting.
Its ball will be on the 44-yard line, but the Cats are still in business. 1st and 10. Spiva in the backfield. He has a good arm. Mark Pyle in motion. Hand off the second man through. That's Welch. Gain of about 5 on the play. Good run up the middle. John, the Welch is finding some holes, but then it just collapses and nothing there.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Their linebackers are doing a great job of staying home and plugging that seam which is something we talked about the Cats needed to do in the beginning of the ball game.
Spivo back to throw. He has a man open. That's Patterson on the far side of the field. It'll be enough for a first down for the Cats. Knocked out of bounds on the 45-yard line inside Carthage territory. They'll move the chains, stop momentarily. 9:14 left to go in the ball game. Cats are down 35-13. Spiva remains in the backfield. One man in motion. This is a handoff up the middle. Here's Welch. Not much there this time.
Yeah, maybe going to pick up 2.
It is hard to move that pile. They are so big. Well-coached front line, defensive line for the Tigers. And they are stingy with giving up points this season.
Welch tried to go over the shoulder of Nathan Rogers that time, and he just was able to pick up a couple. We've got wideouts over here, and here comes Pyle again.
Spiva wants to throw. He's got a man open. It's completed to Patterson. Touchdown, Wildcats all the way. Touchdown all the way from the 43-yard line. Nice pass play.
Well, that was a great pass that time by Spiva, but Patterson literally went up with one hand and got the ball. And we'll see if we don't go for 2 this time, and that's maybe not, man.
There you go. It looks like they're going to go for 1. You're right, John. Patterson, 6'3", just reached right up and snatched that ball out of the air, and the defender just couldn't do anything about it. And a good run after catch. Here comes the kick. The kick is up.
That's good.
And it is. With 8:37 to go in the ball game, it's now 35-20 in favor of Carthage over Neosho. We'll return after this on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
McKay Quality Roofing is a proud supporter of KNEO Radio and the Neosho Wildcat Sports Network. They're located in their offices at 811 South Neosho Boulevard. They specialize in roof removal and replacement of residential and commercial properties. In order to serve you better, they have offices in Neosho, Cassville, and Grove, Oklahoma. Call McKay Quality Roofing at 417-455-3326 for a free quote, or go online at mckayqualityroofing.com for more information. Go Cats!
Welcome back. We're getting ready for the Cats to kick off after a huge play. That was what, Jim, 45 yards?
43 yards.
43 yards from Cade Spiva to Boston Patterson for pay dirt, and that brings the Cats up closer. The score is now 35-20 in favor of Carthage. There's 8 minutes and 37 seconds left in the ball game. We'll see what the Cats do.
Cats need a turnover quickly, or fumble or interception just to get the ball back. And they are on a roll right now. John, if we hadn't had that one miscue, it would have been just a one-possession ball game.
Yeah.
And Cats would be right in it.
But that shows you, and we'll see that as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. I think that it's going to be a kick, and it's exactly what it was.
Onside, it went to 10 yards, taken on the 49. Carthage fell on it, and they'll have good field position here with 8:36 to go in the ball game.
Number 13, Jack Carlton, who is a junior, jumped on the ball and covered it, which is exactly what he needed to do.
Well, they moved it up right at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Okay, well, defense is going to have to make a play now. We're getting ready to set up, and Carthage is going to go ahead and do what they've done so far, which is milk the clock. But with that touchdown, the Carthage Tigers have given up more points to Neosho than 40% or 70% of the teams that they've played.
Here's Collins with a run off left tackle up the middle for 8. A good little run. I don't know his totals tonight, and I know he's well over that 100-yard mark. He's had that kind of an evening.
It's going to be second and about 3.
Well, here's where the Cats have to worry. The clock continues to run. Carthage will probably keep it on the ground.
Yeah, I would be surprised if they throw a pass at all.
It's a 2-possession game, and they're inside Neosho territory on the 42. Carlton back along with Collins. One man comes in motion across, and he'll just run it. Carlton hangs on. He tripped up. He gets enough for the first down all the way up to the 37. Good pickup of 5 on the play. John, they're so close. They haven't had the big. Carthage has not had the big play tonight.
No,
they
have
are
not.
They are so close, And the Cats have held them in check, and no long pass plays and no long run plays except to open the game where Collins had a 20-yard run, and that's really it. The rest are just 3 and 4 and 5 yards at a time, but they've taken a lot of time off the clock. 1st and 10, Tigers, 37-yard line of Neosho territory, and there's a couple of flags coming in. Somebody either moved or...
I don't know whether that's it or there was 1 second left on the...
Illegal procedure against the Tigers. That'll move it back 5 yards.
And that'll stop the clock.
Somebody moved, a little anxious. Yeah, the Cats tonight haven't flinched. You know, Republic used that hard count on them last week and drew them off sides, I know, at least 3 times. Tonight that has not been the case. 7 minutes to go in the ball game, almost halfway done. Halfway finished, I should say. 1 man in motion. Carlton keeps, brought down in the backfield. Nice tackle.
Yeah, that was a
Number
nice job
14.
that time by, Jackson Earl, the sophomore.
Yeah, that's a nice, he's 6'4", 210. He's going to be a good one. Cats have some players that'll be up. And, John, I like the question you asked Coach Towdy. You know, these seniors have been with Coach Towdy all 4 years, and it is making a difference this year.
Yeah, it most definitely is. But we sure have got some young underclassmen that are coming up and developing well for these Cats.
2nd down and long yardage. 2nd down and about 16. Carlton going to fake the pass. He's going to run again. Oh, nice catch from behind, number 14. That number we're calling again, Jackson Ertl.
Yeah. And he seemed to be able to get through the 2nd time in a row and grab a hold of Carlton. So it is 3rd and 10.
Still long yardage. Need to stop right here. Clock winding down. Time is against the Cats right now. They need the ball and time to score. I don't think they'll be like the Chiefs and score in 13 seconds, but, you know, they had some good drives tonight. They scored quickly at the end of the first period within about 2:20 off the clock, so it can be done. Here comes Carlton again. No, it's a direct snap to Collins. And it's going to be short.
Yeah, he's still going to have about, it's 4th and 5 maybe.
Ball spotted on the 31. They need, it's a good 4th down and, at least 4 yards to go.
Well, we talked about the fact early in the ball game, or early on in the pregame show about it's going to take a little while for Cade Spiva to get his sea legs, so to speak. It's going to take the rest of the team a little while to get their sea legs, to get back to being used to his cadence, used to his counts, and used to his ability to throw the ball.
And their offense has done a good job of protecting Cade tonight. He has not been sacked. Here, the long throw, it's completed. And it's enough for a Carthage 1st down. Inside the 25, down to about the 22-yard line, and that looked like it was going to be turn the receiver around, and he made a great catch.
Now that was Yates. He went down for that ball and came back up and turned around.
And keeps the clock running. 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Play clock down to 15. They'll milk this. Clock won't start until they snap the ball. 35-20 is our score. Carthage on top. Handoff up the middle to Collins. Down to about the 17-yard line. John, Tigers will be content just to do that. 3 or 4 yards to carry. They don't have to. They don't need the big play right now. They just need to keep the chains moving. They need to get it down to about the 13 for a 1st down. Ball spotted on the 18-yard line. 2nd and a long 5. Almost 6 yards to go. Carlton in the backfield. 1 man coming across the field. Carlton right up the middle. He swamped. Stopped.
Yeah, he's caught that time. Cats have got that one down, and that one was by 55, Bryce Warren, senior defensive end, that made that play.
No gain on the play. 3rd down. You know, if the Tigers can score, John, I think they will take Carlton out of the ball game. They don't want to see him injured. Possibility. Carthage looks like, John, will have the bye in the district, and they'll get next week off, and their next game will be on November the 8th, and possibly be right here on their home field. Carlton back. He pitches it back to Collins. He's tripped up short. Third down play. It'll bring up fourth down again, and they just keep pounding away. And they're going to call a timeout on the field. We'll do that as well. Take a quick timeout and return on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
The Freeman Family YMCA is a proud sponsor of high school sports. Serving the four-state area, the Freeman Family Y believes in putting Christian principles into practice through programs, building a healthy spirit, mind, and body. With 2 locations to serve the area in Grove, Oklahoma, and Neosho, the Freeman Family Y open 5:30 to 9 Monday through Saturday, 1 to 5 on Sunday. For more information, you can go online to ymcaswmo.org or call us at 417-455-9999.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
Fourth down play. Oh, wide open. Touchdown, Carthage. Touchdown from the 22-yard line. What a backbreaker that one was. 22-yard TD pass coming at the 2:58 mark.
And that was Court Rollins.
And
Reynolds, I'm sorry.
Carlton did a good job of freezing the linebackers, and he went deep that time on a fourth down play. Here comes the extra point. It's up. And it's good. Our score with 2:58 to go in the ball game. Carthage 42, Neosho 20. We'll return after this on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
In a sense, we all live in earthquake zones. Sometimes things in our world are shaken by forces we can't control. It might be one of those times in your life right now. Life's quakes remind us how breakable and vulnerable we are. You were made for a relationship with Jesus Christ. Only through Him can you be safe for all eternity. He proved it by His blood when He died on the cross to pay for every sin you've ever committed. To learn more, call 888-NEED-HIM.
2 minutes and 58 seconds left in the ball game, and Carthage on the score of 42-20 are getting ready to kick the ball off to the Cats. Cats need to go down and score quick, Jim.
They're down 3 scores right now. It's not impossible, but
well, it's not impossible.
It's an uphill battle, and they'd like to have another score against this team. They, not many teams score 20 points against Carthage this year, and the Cats have really given them an all-out fight. And when your defense is on the field all this time, it's difficult. That kick taken on the 7-yard line. Got some room. That's Hudson Williams. Oh, he's hit hard right at the 20 and pushed out of bounds. They'll spot it maybe on the 19.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, right at the 20.
They're spotting it right at the 20-yard line.
Those referees are getting a workout tonight. See, you need to be a line judge. You just stay right there. You're not running up and down the field. That poor guy in the middle of the field, he is getting a workout. First and 10 Cats from their own 20-yard line. 2:53 to go in the ball game. They are down by 22 points. It's 42-20.
I would look for us to.
Oh, Spiva. Oh, he's throwing down hard.
That's Patterson.
There's Patterson in there to run. Yeah, Patterson's in there. They'll probably keep him the rest of the game right now.
I would think that probably will be the fact. I mean, there's just not much time left, and there's no need to
Cade's had a good ball game. You
risk,
don't want to
risk hurt there.
That's the young Blaine Patterson. He's back to throw. He has a man open. It's intercepted on the 30. Tipped out of the hands of Hudson Williams. Carthage takes over on about the 26-yard line. John, a tough break for the Cats right there. It was a good throw and just in and out of the hands of Hudson Williams.
Yeah, it just tipped right out of his hands.
Ball, they'll spot it on the 25. I'm sure Carthage going to bring in some reserve players right now. They're up by 3 scores. And not much the Cats can do. Carthage looks like they'll improve to 8-1. Cats will fall to 5-4. And where they play next week will be determined by games that are still in progress up in the Kansas City area. And a lot of people say, why are you talking Kansas City? Well, there's 4 teams in the district in Kansas City and 4 down here. And the handoff up the middle, not much doing.
Nice job by Tomlinson that time to get in there and stop that play.
Can't tell if that's a new, it's a new quarterback. Browning, number 16, in for Carthage. And the clock is running right at 2 minutes. Not much Cats can do. They'll just let the...
Number 24, Brody Mitchell in for the Cats over on this far corner.
Browning now at quarterback for Carthage. 1:40 to go in the ball game. He'll run left, cuts back, across the 20. He's brought down. Cats have fought hard tonight. A few breaks, and it could have gone the other way. Clock will wind down. Ball spotted just across the 20-yard line. And they'll just keep milking that clock. It's play clock down to 15 seconds.
Well, we do not have a score since the third quarter, and the Joplin Eagles are up over the Webb City Cardinals by a score of 28-27.
Very close ball game there. Browning will run right. He has some room down to the 15. Hit hard by a host of Wildcats. 45 seconds left. Third down play. It'll be,
say there's about one more play.
And it'll be fourth down and short yardage. Fourth down and less than a yard. Yeah, they can wind this down to about 10 seconds before they actually have to snap the ball. Don't forget, afterwards, our post-game show, Coach's Interview, brought to you by Arvest Bank of Neosho. Coach Taddeo join us after the ball game.
And we'll try to get some more scores for the Drive Time show, which is brought to you by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine.
Hand off up the middle. It's enough for first 10. First down, brought down at the 10-yard line, and that's going to do it. And that's going to be our final score. Carthage 42, Neosho 20. Carthage advances to 8-1 on the season. The Cats fall to 5-4. What a fine season the Cats had, and a lot of improvements. Hard-fought loss tonight for the Cats, 42-20. Neosho loses to Carthage. We'll take a timeout. We'll be ready for our post-game show and Coach's Interview after this on the KNEO Wildcat Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca, we care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, we've dedicated to providing excellent customer service across the four-state area, ensuring that every experience is exceptional. Visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. Learn more at peoplesbankofseneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationship.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
At Calvary Neosho, we aren't your grandmother's church, because she lives in Akron, Ohio, and that would be a terribly long commute for church. But if she did live in Neosho, we at Calvary would be delighted to have her come visit us. And since you live here, we would definitely like you to come visit us. Then, when your Nana comes to visit for Christmas, you can bring her to church and introduce us to her. We're sure she is a delightful lady. You can find us at Facebook /Calvary of Neosho, or join us in person at 3650 Oak Ridge Extension. We gather for worship Sundays at 10:30 a.m. Calvary Neosho. Not your grandma's church, but we'd sure like to meet her.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Wildcats!
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
And once again, our final score tonight, 42-20, Carthage on top of Neosho. Time now for the coach's interview. It's sponsored by Arvest Bank, where they believe in the power of serving others, anywhere from small business to agriculture. Whether you're looking for someone to help manage your mortgage or an expert in wealth management, they have you covered. You deserve a financial partner who cares and can help you reach your financial goals. Arvest Bank, always proud to call Neosho home. With us now is Coach Towdy. And Coach, I know it's a tough ball game, but Cade Spiva makes a world of difference for you guys.
Yeah, he's just such a good football player. The heart he showed out there tonight, truly unbelievable, honestly, and I think it inspires everybody else to see him to kind of battle through what he's been through, and he's just a great football player.
I don't think Cade was sacked once tonight, and that's kudos to your defense that protected him tonight, and you brought in Blaine Patterson in there for some running plays, and a good job of gaining some first downs when they were needed.
Yeah. I mean, that was in the game plan to bring Blaine in still at times, and we probably thought we were going to bring him in more, but Cade was playing so well that we just kept on going with what was working, and like you said, the big guys up front just played a great game. Cade didn't really get touched, and I think that was just, it shows how much they care about Cade and how much they love him, just to make sure nobody was getting back there to him.
We looked in that third period. Carthage, you talk about ball control tonight. They hung on and hung on. I think you all had one possession for just a couple of minutes, and they came back and had the ball to start the fourth quarter and, and took the game under control. But, it was going to be a tough battle with Carthage.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good football team. They're one of the top teams in the state, and, they did a great job in coming out at halftime. They got the kickoff, they recovered, and then going down and scoring, and then just kind of sitting on the ball. I mean, that's what they do when they get up. That's when they're at their best. They just kind of grind the clock. And, defensively, we played well. We put them into some fourth down situations, but we just got to get off the field on those fourth downs, and that's the difference. And then, offensively, I thought we played pretty well, but just a couple drives that were a little too quick when you're playing a team like this. You got to keep their offense off the field.
Well, Carthage will have the bye next week for districts, and we still don't know who will be playing next week, because Ruskin and Belton going at it for last place honors, I guess, So and Webb City was leading Joplin late in the ball game by a touchdown.
Yeah,
so
35-28.
Very close.
28.
Yeah, very close game on that. But no matter, hopefully we'll have a ball game at Bob Anderson Stadium next Friday night.
Yeah, I think we will. It's tough to figure out the math with Misha, but if my projection was, if we had won, we'd have been the 1 seed, and if we had lost, I think that would kind of drop us down to the 4, which would still get us a home game, and most likely Raytown at home, and then back here in Carthage for round 2, hopefully.
So best of luck next week, John. Any final words with the coach?
Yeah, Coach. We talked at the beginning of the show about the fact it may take Cade just a little while to get his wings back underneath him. Likewise with our receivers, and it didn't take that long at all. But I think we showed that we're a ball team that needs to be contended with. That we're far from being done, and we sent a message out to everybody in the district.
Yeah, I think we did. Cage worked so hard in the offseason with those receivers. They've all put in so much time that, he missed a little bit of time, but he picked up kind of right where he left off as far as the passing game goes. And honestly, maybe one of his better passing nights all season from him. And that just shows a credit to all those guys out on the field that were making that happen. And I think we've got a really good ball club. I know that, you know that, and that there's, that's one of the best teams in the state. And a couple plays go here or there, or we make, one more play. I think that's a different ball game. So we're excited about where we're at, and it's win or go home from here on out. So this is the best time of year.
We knew Carthage was going to be stingy with points. They've averaged 15 points a game, and giving up 15 points, and Cants had 20 and could have had more. And they gave them all a good fight tonight for sure. And tell the young men we're very pleased, and we're very happy for them, and we're still proud of them. And go Cats.
I appreciate it. Go Cats.
Thanks, Coach. We'll see you next week. We appreciate that. Once again, final score 42-20 tonight.
Yes,
Carthage on top of Neosho, and Arvest Bank proud to be calling Neosho home, and they are also the sponsor of the coach's interview, and of course they believe in the power of serving others across this region. Arvest Bank of Neosho. John, do we have any other final scores? I don't have internet. I can't help you with that tonight. And Sam forgot his phone, so we need a quick timeout and come back with some finals?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's take a timeout, and we'll be right back.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, don't let pain put the brakes on your pace.
Sam.
When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and we're recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace.
Oh my goodness. What?
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, don't let pain put the brakes on your pace.
Okay.
When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and we're recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
Wait, there's an interesting.
Welcome to the Final Drive Scoreboard Show on the KNEO Sports Network. The Final Drive Scoreboard Show is sponsored by Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the official sports medicine provider for over 20 area high schools and colleges. See how one of their certified physicians, certified athletic trainers, or therapists can help you get back in the game. Now, let's go back live to the stadium for the Final Drive Scoreboard Show on the KNEO Sports Network.
Welcome back to Carthage, Missouri. It's time for the Drive Time Scoreboard Show, and in Webb City, Jim, we've got a barn burner, 35-35, and there's less than a minute left. I would bet that they're probably going to go into overtime. Lebanon Yellow Jackets 50, Waynesville Tigers 7. Neosho Wildcats getting beat here, as you saw on KNEO and Neosho Wildcat Sports Network, 42-20. The Nixa Eagles all over the Glendale Falcons. That's a final 42-0. Republic Tigers all over the Willard Tigers, a score of 35-7. Over in the Big 8, the Cassville Wildcats, this is in the fourth quarter, 21, and the Aurora Hound Dogs, 11. East Newton Patriots in the fourth quarter in McDonald County, 35. McDonald County Mustangs, 33. There's a barn burner there as well. In Monette, the Cubs in the third quarter reporting 32, and the Mount Vernon Mountaineers, well, we just got to clip back just a minute. Let me see. And the Mount Vernon Mountaineers 32. That ball game is all tied up. Now East Newton, as we said earlier, 35-33 over McDonald County Mustangs. Seneca Indians, it's a final 57-7 over the Lamar Tigers. Seneca will have a bye next week as they will be the number 1 seed over in their district. Pleasant Hill Roosters 46, Nevada Tigers 21. That's a final. Over in the Ozark Conference, it is the Zizzers from West Plains 34, Carl Junction Bulldogs 20. Bolivar Liberators 42, Logan Rogersville Wildcats 21, and the Branson Pirates 49, and the Hillcrest Hornets 0. We're going to take another timeout, and we'll look back and see if we've got any final scores to bring back to you. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, I'm Pastor Jeremy Bridges with the Canopy Church, and I want to give you some encouragement today. No matter how far you feel from God, right now, did you know He's never more than a prayer away? Psalm 145 says, "The Lord is near to all who call upon Him." If you need to reconnect with God today, He's just one prayer away. If you need to ask for forgiveness, He's just one prayer away. If you need God's help or guidance, all it takes is a prayer. If you haven't talked to God in weeks and you know your relationship with Him isn't as it should be, cry out to Him. It's just one prayer away. And if salvation is what you need, ask Him. He's just one prayer away. Have you talked to God today? He's waiting to hear from you. For KNEO Radio, I'm Jeremy Bridges.
Okay, there's one more update. It looks like in Lebanon, that's a final now. Lebanon 64 and the Waynesville Tigers 20. All the rest of the scores look exactly the same, Jim. So let's talk about our ball game for just a minute or two. I thought the Cats did a good job of showing they still got it, and we're excited to be able to probably have a home game next week.
I think, and Coach Chowdy is very optimistic about that as well. Kate Spiva makes a big difference running that offense, and defense just on the field way too long against a very tough Carthage team. And we scored 20 against, we had 3 touchdowns against Carthage. A lot of teams they've played this year have not been able to accomplish that. So I think the Cats, depending who they play, they could win around next week. And who knows, we could be facing Carthage again down the road, John, in further district action. And you just never know. That second time around could make a world of difference.
Well, you ask most any of the coaches, and they'll tell you that there's 2 seasons, the one that we've just finished up and the one that we're getting ready to start with district playoff. And you want your team to peak, certainly, as you come into district. And I think we can say right now the Cats are peaking, and they're peaking at exactly the right time.
I think they are, and, they'll get that offense to going, and things could be different. And we'll look forward to next Friday night, and hopefully we can announce this week. I know Luke will be putting some items up on the Facebook page and the website, and hopefully we'll be playing at the friendly confines of Bob Anderson Stadium.
Yeah, now we want to let everybody know that ball game and any ball games from here on out, we will be doing video and audio. The video will go to the Misha platform, and it will be a pay-per-view. But the best thing for you to do is come to Bob Anderson Stadium, should we be playing there next week, and support these Neosho Wildcats, because there's a really, really good chance if we win that ball game, like Coach Taddy said, we'll be right back here against Carthage.
I think we will be too. It's been fun. Enjoyed it tonight. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Sam, for helping out tonight. And bring your phone next week so we can get some scores.
For Jim Jackson, I'm John Ball, and for Sam Fryer, God bless you for watching us tonight. We're grateful to you. We're grateful to all of our sponsors. We're grateful for the opportunity to do the things that we do. So until we see you again, which will be next Friday night, one way or the other, go Cats!
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent of KNEO Sports Network. This has been a sporting outreach of KNEO Sports Network, reaching into communities to make a difference for eternity.